This is Fudge Films. Coming up next, our feature presentation.
Hey man, got any water?
I mean, this was the last one, and I'm kind of drinking that.
Well, didn't want to have to do this.
I just thought, well, I'm not gonna willingly drink piss. Why would I not drink the clean water? Let's commit mass genocide. Country road, take me home.
What?
He no-sold that, dude. I'm all about exploiting old ladies. That's the Fudge Films way. Now make sure you hit that railing. Okay. And there's the checkpoint. And then the stage continues.
I got more live.
So I said, I put a Skittle in the cum man's ass. So yeah. And now, our feature presentation.
Oh, Jesus. Howdy, 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 chat. I'm doing real bad right now. I am doing incredibly bad right now. I'll say this. I'll tell you what happened. I don't know why this has happened. I don't know how we got here in life. I don't know how I got here in life. But I get physically ill when I eat guacamole anymore. I don't know what happened. I love guac, but there's something about guac that just physically makes me. I don't know what it is. Like, I like the taste of guac, but something about it makes me like physically ill. And so, in my infinite wisdom, I ordered Mexican food for dinner, and there was guac on my burrito, and now I'm like, I need to throw up, essentially. Like, I've got that kind of like gut pain where it's like, things aren't going my way. This isn't going to be a thing that I like just sit there and go like, okay, it'll pass soon. I'm like in physical pain. So don't be surprised if at some point during the stream there's I stand up and run away. Just make a mental docket that at some point tonight I'm probably going to throw up. Wow. Now, doesn't that sound like a fun stream? But tonight gets even funner. Because tonight what we're doing is watching and doing a little reading about how the retro game market is fake. The retro game market is just falsified in trading. We're gonna be watching an hour-long video, a 52-minute video from Carl Jobst. I probably said his last name wrong. Where it's called "Exposing Fraud and Deception in the Retro Video Game Market." We'll be taking a look at that. We've got some a Twitter thread to read. We've got some articles to look at. We're gonna do some learning tonight, and I'm going into this like you are. I don't know anything that's going on here. I know that it obviously exists, but I don't know to what extent. And I thought, well, this will be an interesting to do for a Friday stream. Like, let's mix it up, throw a little variety to the variety streamer, and do a reaction stream, I guess. Do a learning stream. I am really doing bad. As the kids say, I am down tremendously. Ugh. Anyways, that's the docket. If we have time afterwards, which we probably will, I'd really be surprised if we didn't. We'll do some more Psychonauts 2, I think. Because I just want to play more Psychonauts 2. I probably, if people were around last night, I probably would have streamed for like a dozen hours. I would have kept going even later than I did. I love Psychonauts 2. I've been on Twitter talking about it. I've been in all kinds of social media today talking about Psychonauts 2. That's good. That's a good sign. I need to burp more. Psychonauts 2 is, like, in my opinion, the best game out this year. I don't think anything else is going to come out to beat that. And it's one of the best sequels I've ever played. No, I'm not done yet, so I could drop the ball. I don't want to jump the gun But I feel very strongly about these opinions that the game kind of fucking rules. It kind of slaps. So we'll hopefully get around to that tonight, but we'll see. I might do this, and depending on how I feel, I might just end the stream super early. Oh, yeah. Respectfully, I am not bussing. Sheesh. I'm fucking down tremendously bad. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see where I'm at whenever we're done with all this. So I hope you brought your notes. Hope you brought your folders. You need a folder for this class. You remember when they would do that shit in like middle school, and like I don't know if they ever did it in high school, but I know in middle school they were like, you need a folder for each class. Okay. So what I would do is I got like a big like Z binder. Hold on. Z binder. Yeah. I got one of these things. Okay, one of these Z binders. And then these were like little pockets. I would just stuff everything in these pockets. I would never put them in the folders. So then I would be carrying around like essentially a suitcase. Because most people just put the folders in their backpack. I had a Z binder, and they would be so stuffed with papers and assignment books and everything. It was a mess. But fuck you. I'm not doing any of this folder shit. And then, I mean, I buy the folders, I label them, I put them in the thing, and then I would just stuff everything in the side of the Z binder. I was pretty cool. I was kind of a badass, you know. I was kind of taking the system down from the inside. I literally think I had this, but like more this color, so like maybe this one. And teachers would get so pissed at me. Teachers would be so upset with me because they'd be like, just put it in the folders. Why are you not just putting it in the folders? I'd be like, I forget to do that. They were like, well, stop forgetting. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely put it in the right folders. Never did. What can I say? I was pretty badass. I was pretty cool. Anyways, get your folders. Make sure you have your Fudge Films folder out. Make sure you guys got a 3-hole punch lined paper. Okay, I will not be accepting homework if it's written on anything but that. And wait, Case It Z Binder 2-in-1 review. Hold on, I want to review.
Well, hey YouTube, so today guys, we're back here with another product review, and today we have a review here of the Case It Z Binder 2-in-1 1.5-inch D-ring zipper binder. So yeah guys, this is a really cool item here. When I was in high school and middle school, this is one of 2 binders I used for my time here in high school.
Okay, but how many out of 10?
Now, you don't really need a binder anymore, but back in the day, you definitely needed it. And it was between this and also another one I used. That'll probably be a separate video. But let me tell you now, this is by far the best binder I've ever used. And unfortunately, it wasn't until like maybe 11th or 12th grade when I really found this thing. And I really missed out, because this thing honestly does...
He's not wrong, though. Like, he's completely right. This Z binder slapped.
Like
the Z binder was bussin' respectfully.
But I remember in high school I had 6 or 7 different classes with different teachers with different requirements, and you know, it was a lot of work, right? It was definitely a lot of work. And
okay, but what does he give it out of 10?
More long straps you put over your back. You probably buy that one, but this one does not come with it natively. But you could probably get that one for a very cheap price.
I like that he reviews it like a tech reviewer. Like, I'm not even joking. This isn't a bit. This is the kind of things we need more of, okay? No one, you know, all the big YouTubers are out here doing tech. They're reviewing fucking megapixel shit. I want analog reviewers, okay? I want office supply reviewers.
because it looks so damn cool. Overall,
That's
guys,
gonna be a
if you
like
wanna buy
from
this,
me.
I'll have a link down below. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you and bye.
That was a great video. Okay. Anyways, I hope I convinced you guys to buy that. Pretty good. Don't know what this dude's doing here, but pretty good. Okay. I really just want to throw up. I really just gotta. Like, I'm torn. This is riveting stuff, I know, chat. But, like, I'm torn between, like, enticing myself to fucking hurl or, like, fighting the urge. It's real miserable. I am not having a fun time. I want to talk about something, though. Wow. Can you imagine a just chatting streamer who talks about things? Folks, I truly am revolutionizing the platform. You want to see what we're doing next week? You want to see what we're doing next Friday? I went to the store. Okay, I went to the little place called the Supermarket. You ever heard of it? And as I was leaving, caught at a corner of my eye, did a full 90-degree turn, gasped, and went, I can do a stream with this. There's an idea here. So next Friday, I should probably save this for the end of the stream, but who knows what state I'm going to be in by the end of the stream. Next Friday, I got Magic Grow caplets, okay? Safari version, Safari animals, okay? Put the good music on for this. So next week, bring your channel points, because we're going to do bets, okay? I'm going to set up 2 cups, drop a magic capsule in each cup, and see which one grows first. Call that shit soggy bet. That's the plan. Next week we're gonna do that. I'm really, some would say scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'd like to think I'm scraping the outside of the barrel. Still the bottom, but so that's the plan next week. So save up those channel points. Don't spend them, because we're gonna be taking bets long into the night. I'm gonna be announcing matches. We're gonna have all kinds of great things going on. I'm gonna see if I can get Michael Buffer for the stream. If I can, I'll get his brother, who does the UFC stuff. I mean, it's gonna be a great time. Seriously though, I was like walking through like the soup aisle. I was at soup, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw these, and I literally went, and there was like an old man like coming down the other side of the aisle, and he was like startled. But I think once I picked these up and threw them in my cart, he went, "Wow, I get it." This was the last one at the store though, so he missed out. He should have gotten there before me. Anyways, that really is the plan next week. That's not a bet. I'm gonna set up some stuff for that. We're gonna have team colors. We're gonna have. It's gonna be a good time. Oh, fuck. I just want to be less sick. I just want to be less sick. That's all I ask. I do feel better than I did like 20 minutes ago. Oh, Jesus, like 40 minutes ago. 40 minutes ago, I was like, maybe I'm not going to stream tonight. Because I was in bed, like, in pain. I'm better. I'm a little bit better now. But it feels I'm just nauseous. Like, that's what it is. Like, my stomach is in throw up mode, and I'm just nauseous. And I did it to myself, quite frankly, because I knew that I was, like, getting nauseous when I ate guacamole months ago. I knew this. But I haven't had it since then. And I was like, I want a burrito. Let me get a burrito. And, yeah, today's been all downhill since then. It's a hard life. It's a hard life. Someone's got to live it. I'm taking one for the team. Okay. So anyways, I redeemed Epic the other day. Well, hey, should have saved your points. Epic's such a scam. Epic really is there just to rip you off. All I do is put on a funny voice changer and say Epic. Though, does anyone... Alright. Does any streamer have a channel point reward that's actually good? Like, highlight message is fine. It's pretty decent. But that's a default. Does anyone, like, actually have a good one? I know there's some... Actually, I take that back. There's, like, one dude, I don't know his name on Twitch, who, like, you can redeem channel points and it'll, like, flashbang him. Which is pretty good. I would never do that. I don't need to give chat the power to, abuse me. You guys do that verbally enough. But... Bakba Soup has a dab. Like, they dab for channel points? Hey, next time someone redeems Epic, I'll dab while doing it. I'll dab and say sheesh. Don't spend your channel points tonight, though. If you have enough points for Epic, do not do it tonight. You're going to want to save those for next week. You're going to want to save those for Soggy Bet. Art often do quick sketches. That makes sense. I'll add a quick sketch category. Yeah, chat, give me, what do you guys want to see? Quick sketch. We'll do like a trial version. Okay, let's, wow, Pert 42. Wow, he redeemed quick sketch. What do you want to see for the quick sketch? Just anything, chat. Anything. My grandfather. Okay, alright, Pert. Here we go. Drawing good old Peepaw. Alright. Here's his, head. Okay, I don't... Now this is, you know, we're all big fans of Pert's grandpa. We've all seen the funny videos of Pert's grandpa. Pert loves showing those in the Discord. We have a text channel just for videos of Pert's grandpa. Of course, what a guy, what a man. You know, we all know about Pert's grandfather's, comically small hospital bed. All the nurses come from all over the hospital to point and laugh at how small the hospital bed is. It's a baby incubation bed is what it is, and they put Pert's grandfather in there, and they just they hog-tied him with the blankets. Like, he is just really wrapped in there. And they've got just cleaning supplies. Just they put him in the broom closet. Is what they did. They put him, which is kind of funny because Pert lived his whole life as or Pert's grandfather spent his whole life, Pert Senior, if you will, senior spent his whole life as a janitor. So it is kind of funny in a ironic way that they did just throw him in the broom closet. All right, let's add some color. Who doesn't, guys? Show of hands. Who here likes color? Now, of course, as you know, any good artist, any artist worth a damn, will include color in their quick sketches, and if they don't, you need to harass them about it. You have to scream and call them a bad artist. Actually, can I do I can't do a gradient, can I? No, I can't. No, not on Microsoft Paint. Oops. Well, no, his face isn't that color. There we go. This is what we want. There we go. Of course, we've all seen the funny videos. We all know why Pert's grandpa is hogtied. We've all seen the funny videos of him running through the hospital screaming. Very funny stuff, I gotta say. It. Okay, and let's include a classic Pert senior quote. I guess we haven't heard him say anything. Let's here we go. We'll draw his wish. We'll draw what he wants most in life. Oops, that looks like a cock. Okay. That still kind of looks like a cock. There we go. Okay. And of course, what Pert Senior wants most out of life is, what we all want out of life, right, guys? The good Lord to just fucking take us. The good Lord to just come for us. There's God. In the Bible, they do say, God's hand looked fucked. That is a you can check that. That's Coraline 2. Check that. 2, 4, 6, 8. And, you know, and then we've got, of course, God's rays. You know, zapping. It kind of looks like God just, like, pushed him. God's just, like, shoving him around the broom closet. Oh, this is where he shit himself. We've all seen the video. Okay, and there we go, Pert. There is your picture. There is your quick sketch. So this was just a trial. What do you got? Should I include this? Should I make this a channel point thing? Okay. Don't know what's happening there. There we go. Alright, chat says yes. Okay, well, how long did that take? That took me like 10 minutes. So, yeah, probably not. I'm gonna save this as Pert. Someday I want to get a man named Pert in here and show him this image and be like, we predicted it. We knew you were coming. Okay, anyway. Hey, let's do the thing we came here to do. Hey, Chad, I got good news. Now, I am not a medical professional. I know. It may come as a shock to you. I'm not a doctor. But I could tell you this. Laughter is the world's best medicine. And all that laughing, I actually feel fucking fine now. I feel great now. I feel perfectly fine now. I'm not joking. And the being sick was not a bit at all. Seriously. I felt like shit literally 10 minutes ago. And then drawing Pert's grandfather and laughing at that. I'm fine now. I'm a baby, dude. I'm a fucking baby. Just slap me on your shoulder and pat my back, and I'm fine. Anyways, okay, so let's do what we came here to do, which is to learn, okay? This is a video, this is put out by Carl Jobst. Jobst. Hopefully he says his name so I stop saying it wrong. And exposing fraud and deception in the retro video game market. Now, if you know, that discussions on the retro game market happen, I would say, decently on this stream. Certainly in the Discord, I talk a lot about the retro game market and how fucking wild it is in the last, 2 years. The ways it's exploded. It's gone from, oh, that makes sense. The rare games cost money, and the cheap games that they made a shit ton of are not expensive. But in the last 2 years, everything's been exploding price-wise. Well, here, you can see super rare copy of Super Mario Bros. Sells for over $30,000. This is from 2017. Okay? This a complete sealed, complete in box Super Mario Brothers. I think this just sold. Hold on. Sorry. I don't want to get this wrong, but I feel like it just sold for like 100,000. Let's do this. Let's go to price charting. Super Mario Brothers. Now I use pricecharting.com for everything. Like for all game stuff, I go to price charting. So just a complete one, $215. But graded, it sold for $12,000. So the market is exploding. And I think this video is going to touch on that. But I also think mainly what this video is going to touch on is the grading market. Grading is stupid. Now, I get it, putting it in a nice protective case and having a burrow of highly intellectual collectors look at it and tell you, like, okay, out of 10, like, what's the grade on this? How mint is it? I get it to an extent, but it's also bullshit. It's stupid. And I think this expose, if you will, is going to be touching on that because all the other material I have about this seems to be more about the grading than just, this is still a stupid price. Really, this is a stupid price. But this also, okay. We're going to chat. We got a lot of things to talk about. If we look at, in the past year, look at this. Look at this curve. Here. Look at this. Complete in box. Okay, let's take it to a 5-year. Look at this. It goes up. The way that it's peaking and valleying is so, like, volatile. It's real weird. It's real sussy. And then look at the graded. 12,000. And I think this video, well, this says 30,000. Okay, we got to watch the video. I don't know, chat. I'm partially talking out of my ass right now, aren't I? Let's watch and chat and let's learn, cuz I am very interested on am I stupid? Is this stupid town? Not that I bought, none of these I bought to resell. I wouldn't say I'm in the retro game market. I would say I'm a dude who likes playing video games. I'm a guy who likes playing old video games. So that's why I have this shit. None of this shit is like, oh, the resale value on Madden 98. Oh, I must get this one. This will go up in a few years. What's the most expensive game on your wish list? I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. Like, I would love maybe Tail Concerto. There we go. Tail Concerto or Misadventures of Tronbon. But I might own Misadventures of Tronbon digitally. I might have bought that on PS3, but I'm not 100 on that. Tail Concerto, there is no legal way to own that game. You want to know? Here, let me show you how much Tail Concerto cost. Tail Concerto for a loose copy is $208. This is just the disc, chat. For a complete copy, almost $500. And look at this. Again, You have to look at the graph. And this is what I'm interested in, if we're going to be talking about this or just graded games. Because look at this. It's very slowly but steadily increasing. Okay? That makes sense. That makes sense. And then you get to April 2020. Suddenly it goes from 170 to 225. Then, by November, it's 329. And now, here we fucking are, June 2021, $541. This is a year. 218 to double that. That doesn't happen naturally. That doesn't happen. The demand for Tail Concerto, the people out there who are going, gee whiz, I want to play Tail Concerto, did not cause this. This is not caused by, gosh and golly gee willikers, I want to play Tail Concerto. This is caused by people going, if I buy Tail Concerto, I can flip it. That's what's happening here. And I don't know if this is going to touch on that kind of thing or just the graded games, but I guess we'll see. So buckle in. This is a 52-minute video. We're going to do some learning. Okay, well, all right, start at the start.
Hello, you absolute legends. In 2017, the most expensive video game ever sold cost $30,000. It was a
How's that
limited
audio-wise?
edition, sealed copy of the original Super Mario Bros. In 2021, the most expensive video game ever bought cost $2 million. But this was a very special
Too
game.
quiet.
Oh, actually, it was the same game. That's an increase of over 6,000% for the same game in just 4 years. Something very strange is happening in the world of video game collecting. Headlines are flooding the internet describing new records set for insane prices. But this is an extremely recent phenomenon, and one that seems to have arisen overnight. For the past several decades, video game collecting has honestly been pretty niche. Truly dedicated collectors seemed to be few and far between, and even if they did amass a respectable collection, there was little fame to be gathered from it. In contrast to something like the art world, where collectors represent the richest of society, flaunting their lavish purchases, video game collecting was mostly done by the purest of heart. Regular gamers, nerds in the truest sense, who were just so passionate about the hobby that they were happy to spend whatever spare cash they could scramble together to acquire a cart here or there, often as cheaply as they possibly could.
What do you think James Rolfe's game collection is valued at? What do you think the Nerd's game collection costs? It's got to be like $1 million, right? In this market, like a gajillion dollars. How's the video now? Is it still too quiet? Because I can turn it up louder.
Video game collectors weren't rich, but they didn't need to be either. Retro video games were never that expensive, therefore basically anyone could do it. And that was one of the great things about it. All you really needed was passion and time. But in 2018, something happened that would change everything. The launch of a company called Wata Games. This was no ordinary launch, and Wata is no ordinary company. There is a select group of very wealthy, very powerful people who are pulling the strings behind this recent spike in video game prices, and those same people are making money hand over fist. When I heard the news of a $1.5 million Super Mario 64, this seemed too ridiculous for me to ignore. I knew there had to be more to this story than meets the eye, and boy, was I not wrong. This rabbit hole is deep. The bubble we are seeing in video games has been seen before in other collectibles for almost half a century. And the crazy thing is that each time it happens, the same people are involved. They know exactly what they are doing, and they know how to extract as much money as possible from suckers who believe the headlines. There is a lot of shady stuff going on, and you won't believe what I've found. This entire situation is fraught with unethical business practices, deception, collusion, and even fraud. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why this is happening, who is causing it to happen, and what needs to be done to stop it. I really hope you enjoy.
Great.
Now, before we get into the specific details about how this entire racket works, there are
You guys
some
wanna get into
concepts that I
Beanie
want you to be
Babies?
familiar with so that you can better understand the context. The first is the difference between the intrinsic and extrinsic properties of an object and how they relate to perceived value. Intrinsic properties lie within the object itself. For example, if we were to examine a painting, the intrinsic properties would be the materials it was made of, and also, of course, how the painting actually looked. The extrinsic properties would be the relationship the artwork had with everything else. Who it was painted by, when it was painted, the context in which it was painted, and how sought after the piece is are all important qualities. When it comes to perceived value, it is the extrinsic qualities of a collectible that raises the cost significantly. Van Gogh paintings often sell for tens of millions of dollars. But if we were to program a robot to paint an identical piece, it wouldn't be worth much more than the cost of the paint and the canvas.
Right,
Ultimately,
okay.
both pieces would look the same on our wall. But us weird and wacky humans like to care about the details that don't directly impact us. We are even willing to spend millions of dollars more than we need to because of these details. In the 17th century, during the Dutch Golden Age, an event happened known as tulip mania, where the price of tulip bulbs reached insane levels. At the time, tulip bulbs were a luxury item that were highly desired for their intense colors, and as their popularity slowly increased over the years, the price inevitably went up. Eventually, people began noticing the trend of rising prices and started to speculate on the market. Speculating means buying a good not due to need, but purely in the hopes that the price will increase so that you can sell it at a later date for profit.
I'm actually glad he defined that. I want him to strip this all down to its most basic things and explain them. Because I'm a very stupid man, and I actually did need speculation explained to me.
With investors beginning to flood the tulip market, this began a positive feedback loop, driving prices up even more. As the price increased faster, not wanting to miss out on the opportunity, even more people started buying in. This caused the first recorded speculative bubble in history, and there are two important things to know about these types of bubbles. First, no one buying actually wants tulips. They just hope to make money. And secondly, this process is not sustainable and eventually people stop buying, and the price crashes. Those left holding tulips lose everything as their value plummets back to normal. I want you to remember this process because the exact same thing is happening with video games right now. But the difference is that this current video game bubble isn't an accident. You see, if you know how speculative bubbles work, you can theoretically create them at will. All you would have to do is raise the perceived price of a good quick enough so that speculators see the trend and start entering the market. Then, you can just sit back and let the positive feedback loop do the work. Profiting from your artificially created bubble by buying games early and selling later is rather obvious, but there are actually smarter ways to make money, ways that incur far less risk. In the current video game market and the collectible market in general, there are two institutions that stand to gain the most from increasing prices. Those are grading companies and auction houses. A grading company is a business that inspects games, certifies them, and gives them a rating of quality. They are basically quality assurance. They allow buyers to know exactly what they are getting, which enables quick and easy transactions. In a bubble, people are flocking to get their games graded in the hopes of profiting from the increasing prices. But it's not just the extra business that helps grading companies, as they also take a percentage of the market value when grading a game. A game worth $10,000 might cost around $400 to have graded, but if that exact same game was valued at $1 million, it would cost over $20,000 to have graded. It's a pretty good deal. But the institution that really profits the most by far is auction houses. Take Heritage Auctions, for example, which is where all of the current record...
So, okay, two things. So, there's going to be a lot of pauses in this video, because, hi, I'm here. Hi. One, so if video games are a bubble, if this is a bubble, this isn't just a trend, this is a bubble, that bubble's gotta burst eventually, right? So does that mean like we're gonna see like Tail Concerto complete in box be a $20 game? Like are we gonna see it crash down really hard? Or I hope so, I guess. I guess is my point. I hope that bubble burst means that I can actually buy games I want to play. The other thing is that, like, skimming, 2% is the fee based on your game's value is so scummy. It's so stupid because they could just be like, oh, yeah, you have a copy of a fucking Madden 98. Oh, the manual is water damaged. The disc doesn't work. Yeah, this is $1 million. That's the worth of this. Okay, and we need the 2% fee from that. You got to pay us the 2% fee. Like, that right there is a scam in itself, right? I don't know.
Record-breaking video game sales are taking place. They charge a 20% buyer's premium on every sale. So if you buy a video game for $1 million, you need to pay the auction house $200,000 on top. And just for shits and giggles, they also take 5% from the seller as well. You can begin to see why grading companies and auction houses would really want prices to go up. It's in their interest. This is also why grading companies and auction houses should never be speculating on the price of goods or impacting markets directly. They have a huge conflict of interest. And whenever you see a grading company or an auction house talking about how valuable games are, you know it's because they want to drive prices up. Again, you will need to keep all of this in mind. I'm going to provide you with a ton of information, and I'm going to trust you to connect the dots. If you are interested in learning what's going on, I suggest writing down details as we go, or watching sections more than once. Let's begin.
Okay, alright. He's expecting me to connect the dots. That's bad. So chat, I'm expecting you to connect the dots. Okay? I'm offloading the work onto you, alright? Write things down for me, please. Help me understand
this. The two institutions that you will become very familiar with are Wata Games, the video game grading company, and Heritage Auctions, the auction house. Wata Games was founded in 2017, but it didn't officially launch until April of 2018. Wata Games is the linchpin behind this entire bubble, and the certification that Wata provides is the justification for why they are sold at such high prices. Interestingly, Wata wasn't the first video game grading company to exist. In fact, the Video Game Authority, aka VGA, has been grading games since 2008. But the introduction of VGA didn't cause a bubble like the introduction of Wata Games did. And the reason is simple. VGA didn't manipulate the market or go out of their way to create a bubble. The same can't be said for Wata, however. The president and CEO of Wata Games is Dennis Kahn, and he is a key player. The other important company, Heritage Auctions, was founded in 1976 by Steve Ivey and Jim Halperin. Steve Ivey isn't very important to this story, but Jim, on the other hand, is critical. Heritage Auctions are in the business of selling rare collectibles and memorabilia. They sell coins, comics, art, anything you can collect that has value. And in 2019, they started selling video games. But not just any video games, only games that had been graded through Wata Games. The interesting thing about the relationship between Wata and Heritage is that it seems to have existed before Wata even began grading games. On the initial website of Wata, when it launched, it had a dealer spotlight section where it listed key relationships. One was Heritage Auctions, where it stated that Wata-certified video games will be featured in Heritage online auctions. This doesn't make sense. The entire point of certification is to guarantee authenticity and quality, but a guarantee is worthless if you haven't established a history of accurate work. Why would Heritage Auctions, a prestigious auction house, agree to sell games from a company that hadn't graded a single game? Why would they trust a business that hadn't even done any business to begin with, when there was already an existing grading company that had been grading games for 10 years? The only explanation to me is that Heritage Auctions was involved in some way in the creation of What Are Games, and knew that it was on board with their mutual goals. And if you needed any further evidence of this pre-existing relationship, Jim Halperin, the founder of Heritage Auctions, was listed on the Water website as an advisor. Another business that Water had a relationship upon creation was Just Press Play, a distributor of used video games which was founded by Zach Geig. Just Press Play also announced that it would be selling Water certified games. Now, in order to create a speculative bubble, you need a way to spread information very quickly. You need to draw in new eyes and make potential buyers aware that a market is building. The easiest way to achieve this by far is to create headline-worthy events that can disseminate through the media.
Bitch.
In this case, it was the purchase of a Super Mario Bros. Kart for $100,000 in February of 2019. Before this sale, the previous most expensive video game ever sold went for $30,000, so this new sale was a pretty big deal, big enough to generate headlines. But the even more interesting thing is who bought this game. It was purchased by 3 men. The first was Jim Halperin, founder and chairman of Heritage Auctions. The second was Zach Geig, founder and owner of Just Press Play. The third was Richard Lecce, who has one of the largest video game collections on the planet. Heritage Auctions then issued a press release about the sale, because of course the purchase was never about collecting the game, it was about publicity. And if this wasn't obvious enough, Jim Halperin advertised in this press release that the game may end up in a future auction. Dennis Kahn, CEO of What Are Games, also chimed in, stating, quote, "What Are certified video games have been selling for record prices ever since Heritage began auctioning them in January. While many video games sell regularly for 5 figures, breaking the 6-figure mark shows that the hobby's upward trajectory indicates no signs of slowing down." So what you have here is the chairman of the auction house buying a game for a record price and then creating a press release about his own purchase in which himself and the president of the grading company are stating that the value of games is going up. He then advertises that his own game will be going up for auction in the future through his own auction house. And his plan worked. The press immediately jumped on this, and many articles about the purchase were written. Kahn's tactic of pumping up the perceived value of games would be seen in every article. For example, in a Kotaku article, Kahn states, "I've always said, video games are going to go the way of comics or cars or coins. It's only a matter of time until a video game sells for $1 million.
Yeah, but the thing is with comics specifically, because that's the other thing here that I actually know about. Like, yeah, you have ones that are fucking expensive, but you have so many comics that aren't even worth the paper they're printed on. You have, especially in, like, the comic bubble was, like, the 90s, where everything, I gotta get 2 copies of Death of Superman, because this is gonna be rare. This is gonna put my kids through college. It's not worth the paper it's printed on. It's nothing. It's junk. No one wants it. It's completely worthless. And, I mean, games are the same way. Like, there are a lot of games that aren't worth the fucking disc they're printed on. But we're not seeing that in the market. Like, those numbers they're still going up. They're being built up.
In an Ars Technica article, both Kahn and Halperin were again pumping up the perceived value of games, with Halperin stating,
"Thanks, man.
There
I
are
worked on
bets
that
on what
whistle.
will someday be the first $1 million game, and many collectors believe that this will be the one." It's so strange to me that news articles allow the owner of a game to advertise that its worth is 10 times what they paid for, and not a single eyebrow is raised. They did everything they could to raise awareness about the sale. They even took the cart onto porn stars, claiming it was worth $1 million.
That was a lowbrow joke. That was an easy joke. Don't laugh at that.
Appearance was the perfect opportunity to establish Wata Games as the authority in grading, despite having only existed less than a tenth of the time that VGA had. Porn Stars even had Dennis Kahn come on, and again he pumped up the value, implying that it was worth at least 3 times what they paid. Remember what I said about grading companies. They shouldn't be manipulating the market and driving up prices. Dennis even faced backlash about this from intelligent collectors, who knew what he was up to.
That's Pat the NES Punk. I used to watch a ton of Pat the NES Punk back in the day. I used to watch him. He used to do a 24-hour NES marathon because he owns every NES game, and so he did a 24-hour marathon where he played every single one, and that was my exposure to a ton of NES games. Like, the majority of the library, I didn't know a single thing about. I like Pat the NES Punk. He's pretty cool. The only thing I've bought to intentionally sell later was the last Nintendo Power. Listen, I don't got a problem with that. Like, I mean, don't I? Yeah, you know, I got a bone to pick with you now, dude. I'm pissed. I don't think I've ever done that. Like, I have things that I got that I've been like, well, if money ever gets tight, like, I could sell that. Gee whiz. Hope it doesn't come to that. But I've never bought something with the sole intention of, like, okay, in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, this is going to make me some money. I don't think I've ever done that.
But of course, this didn't stop him. He went on Porn Stars multiple times, valuing games at insane prices. I can give you dozens of examples, but the point is that there was a very large, very effective campaign to establish Wata as the authority on video games, despite having only been created. It was critical that Wata was seen as the be-all and end-all in video game grading, because then the words of its CEO, Dennis Kahn, would be more effective in increasing the value of games. Kahn would continue to abuse his authority as the head of Wata Games for the next few years, appearing in countless articles and interviews, and always pumping up the price. In fact, he's still doing it, even with the ridiculous price of $1.5 million that the recent Super Mario 64 went for in July. In a Verge article covering the record-breaking sale, Kahn states, I think that we are going to continue to see record-breaking sales. Again, this is purely to make people believe the price will continue to go up in order to fuel speculation. All of this press is driving up prices, but it's only one half of the equation. You also need people to actually buy games. But
why would you buy these? It's the same reason I don't get people who buy figures just to keep them in a box. Why? You're not doing what they're intended for. I mean, I get it. I guess it's a status thing, right? Isn't it, right? Like, oh, I've got Contra in the box. Wow, look at that. I guess it's a status thing. It's a clout thing. But fuck me, dude. If I spent $150,000 on Contra, I kind of would like to play Contra. I would like to play it. I just spent that much money on I don't get it. I really don't get it. My dad bought Lord of the Rings figures thinking they'll go up in value, but they're only like $22 now. I mean, that's the thing. Like, maybe in 50 years, maybe they'll be worth something, but like, there's such a low chance of that, you know? My parents, well, I mean, me and my brother, we were big into Beanie Babies, but my parents would, you know, buy them for us with the thought of like, well, hey, one day this market, you know, could do, and they're worth nothing. They're nothing. They're junk. My parents would, And there was the thing about like the 80s coin collecting boom. My parents had big binders full of like Carter from every state for these years. And they thought like, well, this is it. Like this is going to go up in value. And it didn't. It never does, dude. Unless that market's being manipulated, it doesn't grow like that. It doesn't explode. It's a slight growth. Now, there are exceptions to that, certainly. In terms of figures, fucking Ninja Turtles figures, you know, there's some from like the mid-90s that they made in small quantities, and now it's like, $400 for just the figure. It's insane. It's a collector's market, and I'm not fucking into it. But it's dictated by a collector's market, and if there isn't like collectors for it, then there's no market.
But the people buying these games aren't who you'd expect. If you thought they were video game collectors hoping to complete their collection, you'd be wrong. Let's take a look at who is really buying up these games.
They're fucking rich dudes.
Video game collecting has taken an
buck.
interesting turn in the past few years. Over the last decade or so, I've been a big fan of watching collectors' videos on YouTube, where they proudly show off what they've amassed. In my experience, genuine collectors love sharing their prized possessions, but that's not what we're seeing with these record-breaking sales.
I love genuine collectors. Let me say that. People who are there like to display their shit and play their shit, I got no problem with that. I love them. Good. Hey, I'm with you. It's whatever the hell the other side of that coin is.
Nowadays, the buyers of these expensive games are hidden from the public. Identities are kept secret, and no one takes credit for anything. It's all really strange. Heritage auctions will never tell you who the buyers are, or even if money was actually exchanged. However, there are ways we can tell who bought some of the games, and this is where things get weird. Several weeks ago, I was investigating the relationship between Wata Games and porn stars, given that the original appearance of Wata on that show was obvious collusion between the grading company, the auction house, and the show. In particular, I was researching the appearance of a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out that Dennis Kahn valued at $80,000.
Fuck off.
Through a Google search, I found something very interesting. It was a purchase agreement of the exact same cart. The owner of the cart, Brian, had sold it to a company for the exact same amount that Dennis had valued it at. The buyer was RSE Archive, LLC, which trades as Rally. Rally is a platform that allows investors to buy and sell equity shares in collectibles. To put it simply, people can buy a fraction of a video game, and if the price goes up, they can sell their slice to someone else in order to make a profit. It's essentially gambling on the price of collectibles, and it's as silly as it sounds. None of the people who buy equity in any of these collectibles actually own it. It's purely to try and make bets on the price and earn a quick buck. The purchase agreement I found for the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was an SEC filing. Companies that hold these items and sell equity in them need to disclose their assets to the SEC, so we can track exactly what they buy and how much for. There are 3 fractional share companies that have sprung up in the past several years that are selling equity in video games: Mythic Markets, Otis, and Rally. Each of them was formed immediately following the launch of Wata Games.
One bit towards
Through their SEC filings, I can track their purchases.
It's graded 9
Rally
or higher
bought a
only.
Super Mario Bros. For $140,000 in 2020. This was the same cart that would have...
Okay. It did just dump crumbs of plastic onto my desk. Oh, the center disc hole is shattered. It did get broken. But it does include the playbook poster. So that's got to be a 9. That might even be a perfect 10. So if you guys want to buy a fraction of this, go ahead, drop some bits, some subs, and we'll How much? Let's look at the market right now. Let's take a look at this. I don't know why I just alt tabbed. I'm on Google. I don't have to alt tab.
I'd buy that for $1.
97.
For Madden.
Wow. 2 bits. Okay, so how much of a copy of Madden does that get you? Okay. Complete price. So $8.61. What's a calculator? What percentage do you of this copy of Madden 97 do you on? 861 divided by 0.02. You own 430% of this. Okay. Hold on. We do how do I clear it? Okay, we do 861 0.02. You own, wait, times that by 100. You own 17.22% of this copy of Madden 97. That's pretty good, dude. That's pretty good. Anyone else want to get on this? There's still a whole pie that needs slices. If I ever sell this game, Kirby, I'll make sure you get your. I'll make sure here's what we'll do. We'll make a binding legal document right now. Kirby the Almighty owns 17.22% of Madden NFL 97. There we go. Save. Wait, save as. I'm going to save this as binding legal document. No, don't short me on this. Wait, what did I just save as binding legal document? Wait, what's this then? Wait. Now hold on. Why do I have 2 files that say the same thing? Binding legal documents and new text document. This isn't. Kirby does not own 34% of Madden. Okay, he owns 17. All right, that's a binding legal document. Now, if we look at the options, okay, now watch the market, okay. Now, you might consider this insider trading, but I know I'm going to make you guys rich. You guys are going to be filthy, stinking rich if you get on this copy of Madden 97. Now, next week, we will be opening proportional bidding for Madden 98. That's a hot one. How much is Madden 98 going for? Let's cue this up. I mean, you guys need time to get your own investors. Like, you guys need time to, get the money together, get a new mortgage on your house. Madden 98, complete price, $6.39. Think about that. For pennies, you can get in on this, guys. And look at this. Look at the way this is shooting up. Look at it, the graph. The numbers go up, man. It keeps going up. You're going to want to get in on this. This is the deal of the century. This is the new GME. This is the new AMC. Madden 98. To hear what Madden has to say. I think he probably says...
We sold for $2 million just this month. From Heritage, they acquired this GoldenEye for $20.
Do you think in his elderly old man brain state, I could convince John Madden to buy all of my Madden games for $20? At this point, he'd actually be getting a great deal.
$22,800, this Grand Theft Auto for $13,200, and this Donkey Kong for $38,400. Mythic Markets also bought this Metroid for $46,800. Otis also bought a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for $130,000, From Heritage, they bought a Pokemon Yellow for 78 grand, this Golf for 18,000, and many other private purchases. Aside from these fractional share companies, we can also see people buying games from Heritage and trying to flip them on eBay. For example, a Super Mario that was bought for 84,000 in September of 2020 is now sitting on eBay with an asking price of 1.5.
No shit. Is this a bit? This person has to be joking. Rare Grail, Super Mario Brothers sealed video, Laserdisc, wanna get it graded for $15,000. Get it graded. This has to be a joke. There's no way. No one else will have this. Would grade high, awesome display piece. A sealed VHS copy just sold for $10K? Chat. I have the movie on DVD. What? Super Mario Brothers DVD. Okay, well that... I mean, this is actually still a great profit for me because I found it alongside a road. Someone like hit it with their car. Make offer for $4.95. One second, I gotta sign in. I don't want you guys stealing my eBay information. I actually use eBay a lot. All right. Make offer. Your offer? $8. $8. The seller will be more likely to respond if your offer is around $11,000. Add message to seller. I will also dab in a video and give you an epic shout out. Sunglasses. Wait. Wait, that's a good idea. $8 is the best I can do. But I will do a dab and give you the most epic shout out. This offer expires in 12 hours. He's got 12 hours to respond. Are we good, chat? We're all going in on this, by the way. I'm gonna need to collect pieces of that $8 from you guys. But are we good on this deal? I think this is good. Let's review the offer. $15 shipping. By clicking submit offer, you're agreeing to and entering into a legally binding contract to purchase the item from the seller. Fuck it. Submit offer. Please allow 12 hours for a response from Gas Cap 777 Bad Dude. Hey, we'll see if he responds by the end of the stream. We'll see what happens.
5 million. I haven't heard of a single legitimate collector buying any of these expensive games. It's entirely speculation, purely for profit. But there have been attempts to fool the public into believing that actual collectors are buying these games.
Super Mario World's Player's Choice. 400... Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right.
And one of the biggest cheerleaders for this
Soy.
fake narrative is Eric Nyman.
Thanks. Sorry, needed that. You know what? I think John Madden's wearing the same shirt in both these games. And you really thought they would have gotten him new shirt tech.
In 2019, a slew of articles sprung up about a video game collecting dentist who bought $1 million worth of video games. The original article was posted by the Washington Post, but if you know the real story, this article is insane. It describes Eric Nyman as one of the world's most avid video game collectors, but in reality, he had only been collecting for several months. He began only in 2019 at the beginning of this bubble. There are many people who have been collecting games their entire lives, but this man comes along and he's instantly the most avid collector in the entire world. The article claims that he bought the games, but this is also not true. He wasn't even using his own money. The money was put up by a group of investors, not by Eric Nyman. The article becomes even more suspicious when Dennis Kahn again rears his head to hype up the market. Heritage Auctions also shows up advertising that the market is increasing. Eric makes his intentions clear by stating his opinion that video games should be selling for millions, which of course would benefit him greatly after his purchase. So why is the Washington Post and many other news outlets touting Eric, who only entered the video game market in 2019, as the forefront of collecting? Why is it falsely stating that he bought the games when it was actually an investment hedge fund? Why are Wata Games and Heritage Auctions always there to give their opinion on the market? It's because this is not news, it's propaganda. Eric Nyman is part of the small group of people at the very top, building this bubble in an attempt to make money. He is a talking head with one purpose: to trick people into believing the video games he owns are worth millions, which he will then sell. He can be seen alongside people like Dennis Kahn, always attempting to inflate the market. And this isn't a secret. He admits his intentions freely.
Of course, that same week, I discover on Heritage Auctions vintage video games, which I never even knew existed. And then when I...
This guy didn't know that video games exist. That's my takeaway.
When
he didn't know old
head,
video games existed.
Oh my god, this is like so much better.
He thought the first video game was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
It also was a new and emerging market, like you guys are having with NFTs. It's that excitement of like, wow, if this even catches up a quarter of to where cards have gone, you know, we could see 100x returns just at the beginning, you know, because it was so new. But as a collectible investment, this was like everything that I saw on a Mike Trout card, but like to the max on steroids. And for me, it was a time machine. It was literally like if you could like I always said to myself, I would look at like Nat Turner's collection of cards on Instagram at that time, and I was like, wow, if only I could go back 10 years and just like hang out with him and just buy everything he was buying. And, you know, it's that time machine that everyone has. You guys had with NFTs. It's always that if I could go back, I could be a billionaire, right? So I said, this is my moment that I'm going to go back in time.
This is the dude you
but it's
beat up
gonna
in
be
a
today, and I'm
GTA
just gonna
side mission.
just go for it. So we set up, we spent some time, we set up an LLC, we made a business plan, and I went to like just neighbors of mine, family, friends, all like successful, wealthy people. We spoke about all the risks and the benefits up front.
God, I could see him trying to sell like graded copies of fucking Mario to Michael. Just trying to get like Franklin, trying to get Nico Bellic to buy a fucking graded copy of fucking RC Pro-Am. Trying to get him to buy a complete in-box graded copy of Rugrats Treasure Hunt. The market's going to go up on it. The numbers are going to go up. It's all about, it just takes time. The numbers are going to go up, though. So if you get in now with a base investment, you go out, you get these games, you get them graded, you're going to make a 10-time return, a 100-time return. And then, like, by the end of it, he, like, trips on a gun.
Who was
That's all I'll
and
say.
I'm like, listen, but they all said the same thing. They're like, you seem super passionate about it. If I lose 15 grand on you, it's not the end of the world. Give it a run. To show even on heritage auctions, eBay auctions, look, what we spent appreciated 20 to 30%. This is working. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to help make the market. I'm going to let people know about this. I'm forming a market around something that I feel that is severely underappreciated. So that's what I was doing.
My point is that it's not collectors that are buying any of these games.
Yeah.
It's purely people with a lot of money trying.
This guy's not a collector. This guy didn't even know video games existed. Look at him. Look at him right here. Complete in-box copy of Harry Potter. Look at this shit. This is not worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't care how thick of a fucking plastic case you put it in. I bought this shit for $5.37. And it's barely even worth that. Now I'm getting mad.
To scam other people out of theirs by manufacturing a bubble that otherwise shouldn't exist. Propaganda isn't their only weapon either. It gets much worse. We will now enter the wonderful world of shill bidding.
Shill bidding?
When it comes to auctions, there is only one thing that will consistently drive up the sale price of goods, and that one thing is competition. Obviously, if there is only one bidder, the price will never go up. You are not going to bid more if you already have
just
the top
fake
bid.
bids
But if
to
two
make
or more
number
people
go
are
up.
duking
Okay.
it out, that's where the price can really shoot up. Shill bidding is the act of placing fake bids in the attempt to raise the price. Usually this is done in collusion with the seller, because the seller wants to make more money for the item they are
Right.
selling. So they will work with a third party, who will keep placing fake bids up to an agreed price, at which point they will concede and let the victim win the item. But it isn't just sellers that have motive for this kind of practice. The auction house itself has just as much to gain from inflated sale prices. If your auction house sells goods at higher prices than your competitors, people will want to sell their items through your auctions. And this is where we come back to heritage auctions. In 2008, a lawsuit was filed against heritage auctions for shill bidding. It was filed by Gary Hendershot, who was a former employee. The lawsuit alleged that Heritage used a shill bidder by the name of N.P. Gresham to drive up prices. This lawsuit was ultimately settled out of court, so you may or may not want to put any real stock in it, but it is something to take notice of, especially when Jim Halperin, one of the defendants, and if you remember, one of the investors who bought the record-breaking Super Mario, was caught lying in a sworn testimony. He originally claimed that MP Gresham didn't exist at all, but later had to admit they in fact did. If this lawsuit was the only claim of shill bidding, I might be less inclined to believe it, but the story doesn't end there. While I was researching for this video, I spoke at length with Pat the NES Punk, who is one of the most dedicated collectors of NES games there has ever been.
Yeah, we like
He told
Pat.
me he was contacted by a comic book collector and seller whose father not only worked at Heritage Auctions, but was also friends with Jim Halperin. What he had to say was shocking. And Pat graciously connected us so we could talk. The collector, David Wilson, who founded and runs Collectors Comics, told me this.
Hi, my name is David. I'm from Comic Book Investments on YouTube. My dad, big-time comic book dealer in the 80s and 90s, he ended up taking a job with Heritage a couple years ago, and he had a personal relationship with Jim, and they had a personal relationship for years. And then through the relationship, that's how he got a job working at Heritage. He was a comic book grader. He worked for Heritage for almost 2 years. And during that time at Heritage, he had a few conversations with Jim. My dad told me, because I would talk about the video games, I was like, hey, Dad, I can't believe this video game sold for so much. He was already gone by...
What was that? Who is that? That's not Elon Musk, is it? Please, for the love of God, tell me this guy doesn't have a framed picture of Elon Musk. Wait, I missed it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yep. Oh, what the hell? I don't trust this dude at all. Like, it's not even he bought the print and, like, taped it to its wall. He's got it in a frame. It's the centerpiece of his whole goddamn room. Oh, no. Okay, well, he runs a channel called Comic Book Investments. All right, let's not...
He was already gone by the time the video games have reached where they are at now. And he told me, he's like, yeah, so they're manipulating the market. And my dad gave me an example. Jim is one of the biggest comic collectors in the world. He has one of the biggest collections in the world. Just huge. And what Jim does, and this is what my dad said, he would take a comic book, let's say he would take this book, right? He'd put it in his collection, and then like 3-4 years later, he'd throw it up on Heritage, and then he would manipulate the price by bidding it up. So say he bought the book for $3,000 forever ago. He throws it in a Heritage auction, and then he'd bid it up to, say, like $5,000, $6,000, buy it from himself, basically. He bids it up, and then he sticks it away back in his collection. And then every couple of years later, 3, 4, 5 years later,
and then
whatever,
he can say, "Oh, it sold for
makes its way back
$6,000."
into the Heritage auction, does it again. And what that does is it stimulates the market by pushing it up, propping it up higher than it is to show, like, hey, there's been a sale of this comic book or video game for this price, so that means it must be worth that much. And that's kind of like what I have a feeling that they're doing with video games. They're propping them up like super high, higher than they should be, to create a market, manipulate the market into thinking that these video games are actually worth this much because they have
Chat, you're getting mad at the wrong guy right now. Yeah, yes, the Elon Musk poster is cringy. Yes. But if we're going to insult the way someone looks, God damn it, guys. If we're going to insult someone for how they look, we need to focus on the actual assholes here. All right?
If this is true, and everything I currently know about Jim Halperin
Tone it
leads me
down
to
with that,
believe
boys.
it probably is, the tactic definitely works.
Punch the right
when items
people.
are sold at higher prices, it raises the perceived value of every similar item. It's even more effective if you purchase items at record prices. Every time a video game sells higher than ever before, the internet is flooded with articles advertising your auction house. For over 2 years, all we ever heard about was all of the insane prices that games were going for on Heritage auctions. Naturally, this makes people want to sell their games through Heritage as opposed to anywhere else. But with all of the reports of shill bidding, reports of buying their own items, and the intense secrecy of purchases, we don't know if Heritage
I'm only being nice to him because he's handsome.
were involved in any of these record-breaking sales. This is why we also can't be sure of the recent $2 million purchase from Rally, as again, the ridiculous price, the secrecy, and the obvious motive make it very suspicious. Jim Halperin isn't the only major player that seems to be using his own platform to personally benefit. It's time to take a closer look at Wata Games, and how some of the key figures in that business are using their positions for their own gain.
So I just want to get this right. Chat, hopefully you can actually answer this. We don't know who bought Super Mario Brothers at $2 million, right? They didn't say that in the video, right? I don't think they did. Okay. No one's correcting me, so I'm just gonna assume we don't know.
Shill bidding and buying your own items at inflated prices are pretty obvious ways to abuse your position at an auction house. But how could you take advantage of your own grading company? The first thing that comes to mind would be grading your own games. This presents a pretty clear conflict of interest, and even Wata admits this. In a New York Times article, Wata president Dennis Kahn goes on record to say that Wata employees are not allowed to have games graded by the company, or sell those that were. I'll say that again. Wata employees are not allowed to have games graded by the company, or sell those that were. This makes sense, and I applaud that rule if it's actually upheld. Now let's take a look at a transaction that occurred in 2019 between two gentlemen. The first is Dane Anderson. Dane is the founder of Nintendo Age. Between two gentlemen. The first is
Deal or no deal.
Dane Anderson. Dane is the founder of Nintendo Age, which hosted the largest community of retro video game collectors and enthusiasts on the internet. It also contained
Nintendo Age, for those of you who, for the kids out there, Nintendo Age was like the place to go to buy and sell games for like fair prices, for good deals. It was the place to go to like that forum was the place to go for like gaming, like retro game stuff. Nintendo Age and I think Retro Age, it all like bore out of that.
The most valuable database of information concerning retro games and what they were worth. If you wanted to know anything about collecting, this would be your first place to go.
Yeah.
Dane was also well known for his video game collection, and he had one of the largest assortments of sealed Nintendo games on the planet. But in 2019, he sold his entire collection to a gentleman by the name of Jeff Meyer, who is the founder and CEO of Go Collect, which is a price guide for comic books. The purchase of Dane's collection by Jeff was a pretty big deal, one of the biggest in history. It was so noteworthy that Wata Games even gave the collection a special name. It was called the Carolina Collection, because both men hailed from Carolina. Jeff submitted the games to Wata, who graded them all, and as part of that grading, inserted the name of the collection they were a part of. And you can see this name on the label of the graded games. Jeff then immediately took the newly graded games and started flipping them through auction houses, most notably Heritage Auctions, where the first auction alone produced a total return of over $500,000. So why am I telling you this? Well, it's because Jeff Meyer is a director of Wata Games. You won't find this information publicly because they keep it a secret, but thankfully the company's SEC filings tell us everything we need to know. According to their own filings, Jeff Meyer is a director.
So Wata Games doesn't uphold their rules.
director of the company.
Okay.
So what you have is the president of Wata Games saying that employees are not allowed to grade or sell graded games, but meanwhile, a director of the company is grading his entire collection. But not just grading it in a special, privileged way by naming it, therefore increasing the value, and immediately selling them through auction houses at insane prices for profit. If the games in this collection were graded just like any other game, there would be nothing illegal about this. However, considering the fact that they were graded in a unique and special way, there is a very good argument to be made here for fraud, especially given that Jeff's relationship with Wata Games was never disclosed to the public. But it gets even worse. Jeff Meyer also purchased Nintendo Age, which, as I mentioned, was the most valuable database for retro video games.
I didn't know
Jeff
that.
immediately shut it down. He also purchased the website Game Value Now, which is a
I didn't
price
know
guide for
Nintendo Age
video
is
game
gone.
sales. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but on the surface, it appears as though Jeff is trying to own and control the flow of information about the value of video games, which only ends up being more suspicious given his ties to Wata Games. Again, another huge conflict of interest. Jeff has never publicly admitted to being a part of Wata Games, and the way he talks about his relationship with Wata makes it seem like that's intentional. For example, in a blog post he wrote himself about his upcoming video game price guide, Jeff states, "Thanks to the great relationships with the awesome folks at Wata Games."
I'm gonna
He is
say,
talking
this
in the
is-
third
this is
person
very
about a
sus.
company
This
that
is
he is
very
a director
sussy.
of. The cherry on top of all of this is that when Wata Games was incorporated in 2017, Dane Anderson was the executive officer. So this entire deal happened between two men that were or are directly involved with the company. Dennis Kahn obviously knows who the directors of his company are, so it really makes you think when he blogs about the Carolina collection on the Wata Games website, but fails to disclose that the purchaser of the collection is a director. And it forces you to think even harder when you realize that at the very same time he is telling the New York Times that employees cannot grade or sell Wata graded games. There is a good reason why grading your own games is a big conflict of interest, as the grade is extremely relevant when it comes to how much a game can be sold for. The higher the grade, the more valuable a game will be. There is no better example than the recent sale of Super Mario 64 for $1.5 million on Heritage Auctions. Its grade was a 9.8, with an A++ for the seal. It's essentially the highest grading a game could ever hope to achieve. On the same day, another Super Mario 64 was auctioned with an 8.5 rating that sold for only $31,000. That's an increase of 5,000% for a slightly higher grading. This raises another interesting question. How reliable are these ratings? If you are going to spend an extra $1.5 million for a high rating, you'd want to be pretty damn sure that the rating is accurate. Grading companies attempt to make their grading process as objective as possible, but the truth is that they are very subjective by nature. At the end of the day, the grading is given by a human based on their own perception of the game's quality, and history has shown that this perception can vary wildly from person to person. Grading companies have been known to give very different grades for the exact same item, and this has led to a practice called regrading. If someone receives a grade for an item that they believe is not high enough, they will simply take it out of the case and send it back.
You have a lot of people playing what I call the crack-out game, meaning they get a comic book back and it comes back CGC 9.6. They think it should be a 9.8. So they crack that baby open and they keep sending it back to CGC, hoping that at some point that grader is either going to slip up or that grader is going to get that book and go, hey, you know what? This is a 9.8. They're going to slap 9.8 on it and they're going to send it back to that submitter, and that submitter is going to be very happy because in the overall marketplace for certain books, you go from a 9.6 to a 9.8, you just made a large chunk of money. The average collector,
But like, how many times? What level of like megalomaniac do you have to be like, oh my god, it's 2 points off? No, dude. And spend like another like fucking like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to send it again to get 0.2.
the average speculator and the average investor.
I think I'm starting to get why I'm not a game fucking collector like these guys. Well, I guess not this guy, but like the fucking whack jobs, because I'm not rich, and I'm not that much of a fucking narcissist megalomaniac. I'm a little bit of a narcissist. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't, but not to this extent.
Out there
I'm not
is
this fucking
overvaluing a lot of these items based on the grade, not realizing that in certain instances, the grade is arbitrary. It is an estimation. It is not an exact science.
But you don't even need to regrade games in order to see the blatant inconsistency on display with what are graded games. Last month, a Tomb Raider for the Sega Saturn was sold for $12,000 through Heritage Auctions. It had a rating of 9.8 with an A+ for the seal, but it's immediately obvious that this grading makes no sense. The seal has multiple very large holes, which according to the grading system on Wata's own website is not allowed for A+ seals, which must contain no holes. The seal also has countless smaller holes, scratches, and stains. Quite frankly, it looks disgusting, and yet it gets an A+. I've seen seals with B grade that are better quality than this. My point is that video game grading is not a science, and the ratings given to games are not an exact representation of the game's quality, and yet the rating is touted as the sole justification for why people are spending an extra $1 million on some of these games. Now you understand why it is so important to establish Wata as the utmost authority on video games, because it makes their ratings all the more valuable. Now, one final thing before we move on. If you knew you were about to create a bubble surrounding sealed video games, what would you do? Personally, I would start buying as many sealed video games as I could.
Yeah.
This is Mark Haspel, one of the founders of Wata Games and the current chief advisor. He has been involved in the comic book collecting scene for decades, but was never active in video game collecting. But right around the time that Wata was formed, he suddenly started showing up at video game conventions, buying as many sealed games as he could. Not only that, but he would actively seek out and inquire about sealed NES games. More specifically, the popular ones such as Mario, Metroid, Mega Man, Castlevania, and Zelda. The kind of games we see being sold now for record prices. And remember, this was several years ago. His taste in video games seemed to align perfectly with the same games that would bring the most profit several years later. One collector stated, Mark Haspel was buying sealed 6-packs from a good friend of mine a year before Wata started grading games. Pat the NES punk also noticed Haspel collecting games at conventions.
In June 2019,
I just wanted to pause it on James Rolfe. I just like when I see James Rolfe.
I was a guest at a gaming convention. The weekend of the event, I noticed
The
a small
god,
group
the
of
goat.
individuals who were hurriedly acquiring sealed and complete in-box games from vendors. At one point, I witnessed an individual who I later learned to be Mark Haspel returning to the Wata Expo booth while holding a stack of NES games. I did find it a little...
Alright, I know we should be paying attention, but like you can have no audio playing. But if James Rolfe is there, I'm gonna laugh. The dude's just funny. He's got a great face. He's just a funny dude.
strange, but was unaware of any affiliation that person may have had with Wata, so I didn't think much of it at the time.
It's obviously not illegal for the founders of Wata Games to collect video games, and it's impossible to prove intent, but these examples just strengthen my opinion that they knew what was about to happen, and they were preparing for it. Now, before we get to the conclusion, I want to teach you about an event in history that might be relevant to what's happening right now. The great coin collecting bubble of the 80s.
Cool. Alright, now we're gonna learn cool shit. Now I'm gonna learn
Believe
how
it or
my
not, this kind of
got
crazy
sucked
bubble
into
surrounding a collectible has been seen before. Not to this extent, but still, this isn't a new thing. In the 80s, it wasn't video games, it was coins. PCGS is the world leader in coin grading, and on its website it tracks something called the PCGS 3000 Index. It's an index of the value of coins, similar to something like the Dow Jones. In the historical chart, you can see a massive spike occurring in the late 80s. After crashing, the price has still not recovered to levels seen 30 years ago, and this is without even considering inflation. So what caused this bubble? Well, according to an article posted on antiquesage.com, it was the development of slabbing and the introduction of third-party certification. Slabbing is where a grading company will take a coin, encase it in plastic, and give it a rating. Two grading companies were formed around this time, PCGS and NGC. The article goes on to state that the arrival of PCGS and NGC changed the industry nearly overnight. Now dealers, collectors, and investors could buy or sell slabbed coins sight unseen, because they all trusted the grades given by the major grading services. If you're beginning to get a sense of deja vu, that's completely understandable. This is literally the exact same thing that's currently happening with video games. The fact that people could easily and confidently purchase graded coins meant that they began to sell more and more. This led to the price going up. Investors began to take notice, and more importantly, even investment hedge funds got involved. Kidder, Peabody & Co., Merrill Lynch, and UBS all created coin hedge funds where they took in money from investors to invest in coins. This expanded the bubble even further.
But the
thing about
burst, and now
speculative
coins are worth
bubbles is that they
nothing.
always burst. The price cannot go up forever, and at the slightest hint that the peak has been reached, everyone sells. The ironic thing you need to remember is that people who buy collectibles in order to make money never actually intend to collect or keep them. So when the price starts to drop, everyone attempts to liquidate their assets as quickly as possible in order to not lose money. The market becomes flooded, but because no one is buying, the price gets destroyed. In the end, it's the suckers that came in late that lose their money. The bursting of the 80s coin bubble was a big deal, and hedge funds were inundated with lawsuits from people who had lost their investments. Merrill Lynch ended up paying back over $20 million to their investors. The FTC even stepped in to investigate what happened, and this is where things get juicy. In the Antiques Age article I referenced, it said that PCGS and NGC were the first third-party coin grading companies, but this is actually false. The first third-party coin grading company was NCI, Numismatic Certification Institute, which was founded in 1984. After an investigation, the FTC ruled that NCI misled customers about the value of coins. I want to read from an LA Times article written in 1989, and I want you to appreciate how amazingly relevant it is today, despite being 32 years old. The article reads, "By and large, it's grading and rarity that determine the value of a coin. Rarity is easy enough to establish. Grading is often a matter of opinion. It's for this reason that grading services came into being. Their purpose is to give an impartial rating to a coin, which virtually establishes a particular price. But what happens if the grading service misrepresents the grade of a coin, thereby increasing its value? That's the situation described by Bill McAllister of the Washington Post in regards to a recent decision by the Federal Trade Commission. The commission determined that overgrading coins was a deceptive and unfair act, prohibited by the 1914 law that created the FTC. Charged with this practice were two Texas-based corporations, Heritage Capital Corp. And Numismatic Certification Institute. Also named in the action were Steve Ivey and James Halperin, prominent numismatic figures. A consent order was signed agreeing to establish a $1.2 million fund for collectors who purchased the NCI-graded coins from Coin Galleries Incorporated of Miami. Heritage, Halperin. Those names sound familiar.
Fuck.
Yes, it's Heritage Auctions and Jim Halperin. In the 80s, they were found guilty of illegally misleading...
His whole career has been this? How has no one stopped this man?
Customers about the value of coins and fined $1.2 million. From the 1989 FTC annual report, it states, Numismatic Certification Institute and its principals Steve Ivey and James Halperin agreed to settle charges that its representations and failures to disclose information misled customers to the value of coins certified by the company. An affiliate, Heritage Capital Corporation, also agreed to settle charges that it provided substantial assistance to a coin retailer, Certified Rare Coin Galleries, knowing that CRCG was misrepresenting the security and profit potential of its coins to investors. Under the settlement, defendants agreed to a permanent injunction, and Heritage and NCI agreed to contribute $1.2 million into a consumer redress plan for CRCG's customers. Another interesting thing about Jim is that in 1985 he wrote a book called How to Grade US Coins, upon which the grading standards of the two leading third-party grading services PCGS and NGC were ultimately based. Again, these are the two grading companies that Antiques Age cited as the most...
Wait, I'm sorry. He is also the author of 2 popular futurism fiction books, The Truth Machine and The First Immortal. Both bestsellers that were cited in PC Magazine's 20th anniversary survey in 2001 as one of the top 17 science technology fiction books of the previous 20 years. I bet he didn't write those books. I bet he got someone else. I bet he took all of these worthless manuscripts, and then went through with a fucking magnifying glass and went, oh, this idea would be good. Oh, this one would be good, and slapped them all together.
Again, these are the 2 grading companies that Antiques Age cited as the most important factors in the coin bubble. There is a very strong case to be made that Jim Halperin is the single most responsible person for the coin bubble of the 80s. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it kind of looks like he's doing exactly the same thing again 40 years later, but this time in video games. As I've said before, it's impossible to prove intent, but one thing you can certainly disprove is ignorance. Jim Halperin was extremely caught up in the 80s coin bubble and was so responsible that he was fined over $1 million. You don't forget something like that. He knows exactly how bubbles are formed. He's seen them before, which is why he would know exactly how to create them again. Remember, Jim Halperin bought the Super Mario Bros. Cart that sparked this entire game bubble. He is an advisor to Wata Games and, according to rumors, also an investor in the company. He is the founder of the auction house that these games have been selling on for record prices. It's too convenient that this one person is involved in every single piece of the puzzle when he has the kind of history that he has. This doesn't seem like a coincidence to me. The retro video game bubble cannot go on forever. At some point, it will burst. The question is when. There are a couple of scenarios that might make this happen sooner rather than later. The first is the release of population reports. In collecting, one of the things that drives up the price of an item is rarity. In every other realm of collecting, grading companies produce what are called population reports. These reports tell you exactly how many of any particular item have been graded by the company, along with their rating. So if I do a search for Action Comics #1 through CGC, a comic book grader, I can find out exactly how many are out there and at what rating. Population reports are standard practice because they allow people to judge the rarity of an item accurately and fairly before making purchases. But surprise, surprise, Wata Games keeps this information hidden from the public and refuses to let anyone know how many games of each type have been graded. So we really have no idea how many of each game are out there. When more games of the same kind become known, prices plummet. It has already started happening with some games. The best example is Spider-Man for the Atari 2600. In May of 2020, the first sealed Spider-Man was listed on Heritage Auctions. It was a 9.8 A++, the best rating you can get. It was mint condition, and it's such an old game that it's surely rare.
Dumpy.
It sold for $9,000, which in 2020 was actually still a decent amount of money to spend on a video game. But the funny thing about Spider-Man for the Atari 2600 is that it's not rare. It's not rare at all, even in mint condition. After this sale, Heritage was flooded with 9.8 A++ Spider-Mans. And when I say flooded, I really do mean flooded. With each sale, the price diminished. In April of 2021, a 9.8 A++ sold for $870. That's a decrease of over 90% in less than a single year. When people realize how common some of these games are, prices will be destroyed. And that's what Wata Games and Heritage Auctions are afraid of. Legitimate collectors have been complaining for the past 2 years, but unfortunately, none of them have substantial audiences, and they are essentially powerless against the forces that are driving this bubble. If you want to help make a positive change, you can send Wata Games some feedback by email, letting them know how appreciated it would be if they let us know how many graded games are out there. The release of population reports would be a good start, but Wata Games and Heritage Auctions also need to stop manipulating the market with their propaganda.
Yeah, both of them
Journalists
are
don't even bother
fuckers.
asking real collectors what they
My
think about what's
personal
happening.
opinion.
They simply get sound bites from Wata and Heritage and allow them to inflate the bubble with hype, despite the obvious.
This shit makes me mad. This shit boils my blood. It's old video games. It's Disney. Why your Disney VHS tapes might be worth millions. No, they're fucking not. They responded to this, by the way. If you got a link to that, hit me up with that. I might
Conflict
already
of
have a link
interest.
to that.
I asked a couple
I've
of
got some other
lifetime
shit to look
collectors
at.
what they think should happen, and
But-
this is what they had to say.
My name is Pat Contry. I'm a YouTuber,
We like Pat. We
podcaster,
like
but
Pat.
also a longtime video game collector since the late 90s. I've seen a lot of things in the game collecting world, but what's happening right now with the graded sealed games market is something I could never, ever imagine. And it's a shame that the video game collecting hobby that I've been a part of for decades, and many others, including sellers as well, people that have helped grow this hobby of ours with passion, with knowledge, doing research, putting in the time and effort. This is the end result. The unfortunate end result is that this hobby that we all love has been perverted. It's been twisted to the ends of a small group of people to line their pockets. These are rich people getting richer, and they've stepped on and stepped over all the video game collectors, all the people that have sold the games, run video game shops, all the people on forums researching this illustrious and beautiful past history of video games. They've all been used. We've all been used now for the select few individuals to get richer.
I just want to say, Pat wrote these two books, Guide to the NES Library and Guide to the SNES Library. These are good books. If you're like into retro games, but like you don't know too much, well, I'll be honest. I always recommend, and I don't know, Mr. Nintendo might be mad if I say this. Just download. I'm not saying that. Where's this voice coming from? Just download ROMs. Just download all of the ROMs for the consoles, for every NES ROM, every SNES ROM, and then you can just find out what you like and learn. That's what I recommend. Wow, I don't know where that voice came from. I recommend these books. I have read the NES library book. I haven't read the SNES one, but I assume it's as good as the NES one. Great resources of information.
And it's a crying shame. It's probably too late, unfortunately, but in a perfect world, there should be full transparency and accountability when it comes to these video games. We should know if someone who helps run the auction house is involved in the buying and selling of the games that are being auctioned. We should know if the people grading the games are buying and selling these games themselves. It's unethical if they are doing so, and we should know that so we can stamp out bad behavior.
Now, how can this be avoided? Well, it's quite simple. If WADA would release and update population reports for all these items that they're grading on a regular basis, this would not be a problem going forward, guys. This is a
Look, there's
problem
the books again.
due to the fact that there's
See,
a lack
everyone
of ethics
likes these
and a
books.
lack of transparency in these markets. Collectors deserve better. You guys out there that want this to be a thing, rather than thinking from the standpoint that you're going to make money over the long term in this market, what you should be doing.
See, this is actually a
demanding
decent
better
guy,
from
though he
grading
does have a
companies,
Pawn
from
Stars
auction
DVD.
companies, from other
Maybe he was
players
on
in
Pawn
the
Stars,
trade.
but-
You should be demanding ethics and transparency.
This bubble isn't just affecting sealed video games at the highest price points. The
Yeah.
selling point of every single game has increased dramatically
Yep.
over the past 2 years.
This is
Even
one-
for non
Chat, have we not talked about this 100 times on the stream? Have we not talked about this 100 times? That the entire video game market in the last 2 years, the entire retro game market in the last 2 years, has exploded in disgusting ways.
non-sealed games. Aspiring video game collectors who legitimately want to build their collections will get screwed because the hobby will become too expensive to be viable. What's worse is that people are using the record sale prices in order to scam people. You can find cart-only Super Mario 64s for hundreds or even thousands of dollars on eBay when they are only worth $10. People with a lot of money and power have taken over collecting, and their thirst for money means we will all suffer. As someone who does care deeply about gaming, it honestly sickens me that these people have turned these cherished possessions into a means to gamble and speculate. And I hope this ridiculous practice of trying to extract profit from the suckers who buy the hype will end sooner rather than later. As a sign of appreciation, it would be amazing if you could go and subscribe to a couple of real collectors that helped me learn more about this. Go check out Pat the NES Punk and also Sean from Reserved Investments. These two gentlemen have been collecting for most of their lives, and we need more people like this who are not only passionate but are willing to tell the truth about what's happening. Also check out David Wilson's channel, as it really took some balls to be willing to let me know what he had heard. You can find the links to these channels in the description. Hopefully, you have learned something about how those in power can create speculative bubbles. Next time you see them trying to do it, make sure you call it out and let them know that we won't tolerate it. As always, thank you so much for watching, you legends.
First of all, this was a great video. This was great. I already liked it. I'm going to subscribe to Carl Jopes. I'm just going to do it. And you should too.
Absolutely.
So, again, we've talked about this on the stream more times than maybe needed. But I had always thought, I didn't know this kind of thing was happening. I thought that the market exploding was due to like people stuck inside due to COVID. And, you know, wanting to play those nostalgic childhood games. And I thought it was, like, gig economy stuff. You know, I thought it was scalper economy type stuff. Now, this, I guess, is scalper economy. But I didn't know it was at this level. You know, I thought it was like a fucking, oh, we're selling Mario 64 for $70 instead of, like, the $20 it's really worth. I thought it was like that. I didn't think it was thousands of dollars overpriced. So it's kind of nice to be able to like have a villain in this finally. Like it's nice to finally be able to like point at something and be like, that's the fucker. That's who's doing this to my hobby, like my thing that I love. And, like, yes, those other things are a factor, but they're a small factor. They're a way smaller factor than I initially thought. I thought they were the factor, but it's obvious that this is a huge factor. So it's kind of nice to be like, you fuckers, let's kick their ass. But, okay, so we've got some other things to look at related to this. First of all, let's see if I got a response for my offer. Let's see, review offer. Yeah, no response yet. Still waiting for a response. Okay. Okay. I'm trying. You gotta give me a second. Okay. So there's an article from Kotaku that basically, like, okay, this like sums up explains the video where he accuses them of fraudulent behavior, questions their motives. WATA Games did not respond directly to a request for comment. However, WATA parent company has engaged the services of a PR firm, which is always good. It's always good when they immediately run to a PR firm, called Golden Solutions, which, among other reputation-related services, has provided crisis communications for some clients in the past. Golden provided Kotaku with the following statement on WATA Games' behalf. WATA Games is the trusted leader in collectible video games grading, and we're honored to play a key role in the booming industry that we are incredibly passionate about. We're humbled by the support of our thousands of customers who trust us to... What are you saying? The claims in this video are completely baseless and defamatory, and it is unfortunate that Mr. Jobs did not contact us to give us the opportunity to correct him. Right. Okay, so update, August 25th. A spokesperson for Golden Solutions reached out to clarify that the firm actually works for Collectors Universe. Okay. A collectible grading company owned by Investors Group, which purchased WATA Games just last month. Okay. Hey guys, we're not actually working for these guys. We're working for the people who own these guys. Okay. Yesterday, Heritage Auctions told VGC it was not involved in any illegal or unethical practices. Heritage Auctions wishes it had been given the opportunity to respond before the video's publication, because there are numerous misstatements of fact and inaccurate conclusions contained within the piece. Okay? Heritage strongly refutes any allegations that it or its officers are involved in shill bidding, market manipulation, or any similar illegal or unethical practices. Heritage prides itself on our transparency and being a place built by and for collectors. With this in mind, we welcome the opportunity to discuss the video game marketplace further, and would invite Mr. Jobst to our world headquarters in Dallas to tour our operations and speak further with leadership. They're going to kill him. They're going to kill him. He's going to walk into the room and get a fucking gun to the head. I've seen Goodfellas. The company, like WATA Games, did not elaborate any further on questions about conflicts of interest between the two. Okay. In 2017, a mint-condition sealed copy of the original Super Mario Bros. Sold for $30,000. In 2019, it sold for over $100,000. And just this month, it sold for $2 million. So this is what I was asking about before. I don't think we know who bought it for $2 million, right? Wait. At the time of the 2019 sale of Super Mario Bros. Was known as setting a dramatic new record in gaming, but as Joe points out, and as Kotaku reported at the time, it was being used to draw... Okay, so it was Jim Halpern. It was the three guys who bought it for $2 million. Is that right? No. That's who bought it for $100,000. So who bought it for $2 million? The seller who didn't want their identity publicized for privacy reasons. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, this is just kind of... Oh, here we go. Another update. Anderson told Kotaku in an email that he dissolved his relationship and equity arrangement with WATA Games in 2017, which is why his name does not appear on subsequent SEC filings. Okay, so Jeff Anderson, the guy who bought the Carolina collection, is saying that he dissolved his relationship and equity arrangement with WATA in 2017. Job's video raised other concerning points about WATA Games and Heritage Auctions, namely that rating is ultimately a subjective art. Right. This isn't the first time. Right. Okay, we know that. I want to know who bought it for $2 million. Like, that's where I'm at with this, is like, is it Jim Halpern? Like, did he buy it again? The copy of Super Mario Brothers that sold for $2 million a few weeks ago didn't come from a single collector. Instead, it was sold by the collectible site called Rally. Okay. Oh, so it was bought by people on Rally? Like a collective spent $2 million? A spokesperson for Heritage Auctions told Kotaku in an emailed statement that it has always acted with the utmost integrity and has never falsely inflated the collector, video game marketplace, or any other. While Heritage has a strong relationship with WADA as well as other third-party grading companies and authenticators, WADA's grading and activities are wholly independent from Heritage or its management. The African nation of Mala. Yeah, okay. Okay, so look, guys, we have a nonprofit. Oh, okay. Sorry, wait. Jim Halpern was indeed an early minority shareholder in WADA through his nonprofit foundation that provides funding for arts, education, and health-related endeavors. Jim divested himself of his ownership in WADA earlier this year when that company was sold. Right. The notion that Heritage somehow colluded in order to achieve results, but he was... I don't know, man. He still had ownership in WADA up until earlier this year. And this shit was popping off before earlier this year. Heritage prides itself on transparency, which is why we post every result from every auction and maintain that information in our permanent archive, which is accessible by anyone who is interested in that information. Okay, release of a population report then. Heritage and Jim wholeheartedly agree that as video game marketplace continues to evolve and mature, that population reports are an essential component. Okay, publish them. Publish them. Okay, so then there's this article from Seth Abramson. Breaking news, national video game scandal deepens as purchaser of historic Super Mario Brothers game is revealed to be co-founder of a company that graded it and said its value. We know this. Like this, it's Jim Halpern. Like it's, yeah, this is what this video was about. Oh, wait, no. Maybe I'm completely misreading this. Proof has evidence Rich Leachy was a WADA co-founder with Deniz Khan and Kenneth Thrower. So, the people who bought Super Mario Brothers in 2019 for $100,000 was Jim Halpern, Just Press Play owner Zach Geig, and then Rich Leach, whatever you want to call him, who was also a WADA co-founder. He hasn't commented. Okay. Who's Bronte? Who is Bronte? Wait, who is... When a man going by the pseudonymous name Bronte... Oh, okay, this is the dude who sold it, and then it was bought for $100,000. Okay. So Bronte is Dan Maresca. Wrote a subscriber-only testimonial lauding Deniz Khan, Kenneth Thrower, and WADA. They can see in part of the top search result here. Note that Maresca isn't accused of wrongdoing either in the article or anywhere else. I mean, yeah, he sold a game. Like, okay. That's not... He didn't do anything wrong. Okay. So then who... I want to know who bought it for $2 million. Is it the group of people on Rally? Just buying incremental shares? Bronte gets a tough break. Okay, this article... This is a lot. And I don't... It focuses on Bronte, and I don't... Like, it really focuses on Bronte, and I don't know... I mean, I get it when Bronte's, you know, when we don't know who this is, I get it, but, like, I don't... We know who this is now, it's not... The Pawn Stars clip that spawned a national scandal. According to the Forbes expose on Jim Halperin, the former coin grader has a history of using television ads to draw in victims. The FTC had fined Halperin $1.2 million and ordered him, per Forbes, to include a document with every coin assessed by his firm stating that it had been graded according to loose standards. Halperin closed up shop instead. Huh. It was during this period that Halperin stopped being a grader, instead, per Forbes, found a different way to exploit the system in lieu of running his own grading agency. Okay. So this is the famous $100,000 Super Mario. Right? This is the one. That they went on. I don't think I can show you guys a clip from Pawn Stars. I think this is going to get me executed. I don't think I have the clout to show you this. But it's probably going to go a little something like, hey, welcome to Pawn Stars. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my store. What do we have here today? Well, this is Super Mario Brothers on the NES, and then they'll play like a clip of the game. Okay, cool. Okay, so they'll show like a clip of the gameplay, and then there'll be like a little text box, right, that'll say like, Super Mario Brothers was released in 1985 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It is a good game that people bought lots of. Okay, well, you know, as I can see, this is graded by Wada Games. Well, that's a reputable company. What are you looking to get for this today? Well, I don't know if you saw it, but this just sold for $100,000. So I'd like to get $100,000. Well, I'm gonna have to call my buddy on that one. I don't know. Why don't I call my buddy from Wada Game and see what he has to say? And then what's his face fucking shows up. Colin shows up and is like, yeah, this is $100,000, if not more. This is going to keep going up. You're going to have to go to WadaGames.com and get your games graded, and it'll keep, and you'll make money. Wow, well, I don't know if I can do $100,000. Grandpa, what do you think? And then the old man is like in the back like, and then Chumley's just there. And then Rick goes, well, yep, I don't think I'm going to be able to do $100,000. But can you? And that's probably the clip. Also, yeah, this guy's running a smooth filter. Why would you run a smooth filter? At that point, why don't you just fucking rub shampoo on your screen? Why don't you just cover your screen with virgin olive oil. Anyways. Oh, there's actually a summary. I don't care. A suspicious exchange. Wait. Rick Harrison. Oh, no, I was joking. Rick Harrison initially says to Leach, "From all my research, WADA is the company that grades these. These WADA-graded games are the ones you trust." What? Dude did an ad read for them. He did a straight-up ad read. Okay, so Rick Leach was asking astronomical money, okay. This is probably the most signifying piece of video game history that's ever passed through our grading system. It stinks. Okay, so they conflated the price. They hiked the price. We know this. We still don't know who bought the thing for $2 million, and I'm very pissed off about that. Inspector Gadget judges the game. Yeah, man. Yeah, you send your copy of Harry Potter to WADA Games. They've got Inspector Gadget in the back going, "I like to play Harry Potter on the PlayStation 1. Go, Gadget. Big money. Go, Gadget. Inflated grade. I like to place clear bricks over the games." Anyways, did we learn something tonight, chat? Did we learn something here? Because I did. It's all a fraud. It's all fake. Video games are fake. The whole market's being controlled. But, hey, hopefully the bubble bursts, man. I'm here to kill Jamat. No, dude. You can't say that. Oh, fuck. Have fun in jail, dude. I can't respond to that. I'm being recorded. I can't respond to that. Hopefully the bubble bursts. Like, that's the thing I'm kind of waiting on. Like, because if the whole bubble bursts and game prices go back to... Well, so when I got into game collecting, when I thought I'm going to own every PlayStation 1 game, which is such a stupid fucking idea, but I was a teenager. What can you say? Even then, people were complaining like these prices, back in my day, I could go to Funko Land and get Earthbound for $10. Like, people have always been complaining about the prices climbing, but you can see on price charting that the prices in the last 2-3 years have exploded. They're disgusting. And sometimes they're okay. Sometimes they're actually better than you think. Look, Metal Gear Solid Complete is $40. That sucks. Right? Complete used to be $14. But at least it's not 200. I shouldn't be saying that, man. I sound way too complacent on that. But there was a time, look, $14. $21 in 2019. That's not bad. That's a $7 increase. Okay. Sure. Get to April of this year, $46. Look at Symphony of the Night. Complete price. Look at this. Look at this graph. Who the hell bought Symphony of the Night for $187? Look at this. If I had sold my copy in April of this year, I could go on eBay and buy it back and still make a profit. That's absurd. When I bought my copy right around here. I bought it like summer of 2016. I bought it for $60. That was still over like the average price. Average price around this time was like $50. But it sure as shit wasn't $200. What else do I have? What else do I have that I can go goo? Eyes roll back in head, pass out, feet up in air, cartoon pain smash sound effect. Silent Hill. I do own Silent Hill. I bought Silent Hill, so I got a deal on Silent Hill. I bought Silent Hill in a box. Someone was just selling like all of their games for $50, and I went, I could see Silent Hill in there. It was like on Facebook Marketplace. Someone was just getting rid of it. And I'm like, I could see Silent Hill in there. Yeah, that's for $50. So this was like 2 years ago. So let's place this like no, it was summer. Let's say May. So $53. Okay. I spent $50 on a box of games. I mean, there had to have been like, I would say like 30 games in that box. Most of them shovelware. Like let's Silent Hill was the cream on the crop, the cherry on top. But there was some decent things in there. But even then, for $50, I got a deal on that. Now, it's April this year sold $200. This isn't normal. This isn't oh, the market's just growing slightly. This is something's fucked. And again, I just thought, well, like COVID. Like, I just thought, like, COVID, scalpers market, like... And those are definitely factors, for sure. I don't want to downplay those as much as I want to go, oh, there's a new factor and it's way bigger than those. These are still threats. Those are still threats, but there's now a bigger threat. I feel like I'm like fucking propaganda, like sleeper soldiering you guys into killing Jim Halpern. It's just, this isn't natural. This isn't normal. Secret of Monkey Island rule, never spend more than $40.70 on a video game. Yeah. Monkey Island had it right. Now, do I break that rule? Sure. But I break that rule for a reason. When I break that rule, when I break the Monkey Island rule, it's to support devs I like. It's to support series I like. I don't pay that on things, I don't know if I'm going to like this. I don't pay that on just anything. Psychonauts 2, I spent $60 on that. Okay? Actually, Actually, I abided by the rule on that one. I only spent like $36 because I had a GameStop gift card. So, actually, Never mind. What's your monthly game budget? I genuinely... I don't have one. Because months will go by and I won't buy a single game. Before Rhombus of Ruin and Psychonauts 2, the last games I bought was my PlayStation 5 that came with Ratchet, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Don't I have a third PS5 game? Maybe I don't. That's the last gaming thing I bought. Like, before this Psychonaut stuff. That's the last thing I spent money on. And that was, shit, when was that? July? June? May? I don't remember anymore. June, I think? So, like, July, I didn't buy anything. I'm making sure that... No, July, there was the Steam Summer Sale, wasn't it? The end of July. I did buy some stuff there. But again, it was like $30 worth of stuff. Like, it's all over the place. I don't really have, like, don't spend more than this. If I did, I would not spend more than $60. Like, it would be, like, one, like, new game a month kind of thing. Because there aren't many hot new $60 titles that I gotta rush out and get. That's not for me. That's not who I am. But if I had one, it'd be that. What about Super Metroid? Hold on, let's check. Super Metroid is probably going to cost you a goddamn arm and a leg. Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. Are you ready for this? Loose, just the cart, $86. Complete price, $332. New, $450. Brand new, steel shrink wrapped, what you're saying your roommate has, $450. I mean, look at this, chat. Like, this isn't normal. This isn't fucking normal. April 2020 up. This isn't fucking normal. You can't tell me this is normal. Even the loose, even if we look at this isn't fucking normal. Jack and Daxter. Now, PS1 and PS2 games are a toss-up a lot of the times. Like, PS2 games... Why I loved collecting PS1 and PS2 games when I got into collecting was they were so cheap. It was so cheap to get good games. Let's see, Jack and Daxter. I haven't looked at a lot of these prices in a long time. Let's see. Jack and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. Yeah, complete price is $968. Like, it's still worth nothing. Right? But even that, look at this, though. This is fine. You know what? Hey, I'll say, it's increasing slightly, but this is still fine. The way it peaks and valleys, sure. There's no conspiracy on this one. I mean, this is kind of fucking sussy. But again, like, nostalgia comes in, like, they were probably still printing discs of this in 2006. But if we look at, let's say, what about, like, Kingdom Hearts? What about something that, like, people are really nostalgic about? But the thing that Kingdom Hearts gets re-released so much, like, what about it? Yeah, it's nothing. Okay, what about like Final Fantasy X? Yeah, it's nothing. PlayStation 2 isn't being touched right now because the fucking people who are shitters, all right, the people who are shitting things up are interested in the Marios. Like, look at fucking Mario Sunshine. Watch this. I'm gonna eat dirt if this isn't expensive. I mean, Mario Sunshine's $35, but you can see it peaked here August last year at $75. It's coming down, which is good. It's returning to normal. Nature is healing. But $75 for Mario Sunshine? Look at Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. $89. What the fuck is this? $129. What happened here, chat? What happened here? This isn't normal. It happened with the loose compies too. What happened? I always knew Paper Mario as like a $50 game, which is pretty accurate. High or low 40s, high 30s. This is absurd. This is serviceable. This is, I mean, it's still a fucking, it's a lot, but like it's normal. This is normal. This isn't. It's giving a thumbs up, dude. Sussy. Rule of Rose. Okay, well, Rule of Rose. See, the games that are always going to be expensive always are going to be like weird Japanese games that didn't sell much. Games with low production numbers that didn't sell well and then have become cult classics. Rule of Rose is a joke. Like, it's... Yeah, complete in box, $500. But even then, look at this, though. Look at this. Even then, this is fucky. Like, this shit's... Okay, this is like a steady growth. Like, okay, understandable, because it's such a, like... It's becoming a cult game while still having low production numbers, sure. March 2020. What happened? How did we get here? So we couldn't... Yeah, dude, I mean... So whenever I would look at, like, PlayStation 1 game prices, and I would go, I wish someday I'm gonna own all of them. I'm gonna have all of them. Like... Suikoden was always, like, pretty high up there. Elemental, okay. Silent Hill Trade Demo, Siphon Filter, 911 Edition, Mortal Kombat 3 Jewel Case. What the hell does that mean? Oh, a Jewel Case version of Mortal Kombat 3. Okay. Instead of what, the long box? So this is where it starts to hurt me, though, is shit that I want to play badly. Klonoa. Klonoa is a great game. Klonoa rules. I would love to own Klonoa. $540. I don't want to own Klonoa that badly. Look at this. I mean, this is already absurd. But this is disgusting. Now, I own Klonoa digitally. Like, that's the way you negate all of this shit. Is, hey, you make your shit available digitally to download. And that's how you make money from this guy, from people like me who want to play these games, who are into game collecting because they like playing games. So you make money from us while also, you know, you don't have to do any extra work. You just slap that shit on the PS4 and call it a day. Like, that's why I love the PS3. Like, the PS3 was a fucking god for that. I mean, I have Klonoa on PS3. I mean, repros are definitely, like, if that's a route you want to go, I don't have a problem with repros unless it's people selling repros and not saying that they're repros. That's when shit gets like, come on. It gets real scummy. I've seen local game stores around here do that shit. Where they're like, we have Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire complete in box. $30. Why is it $30? Why is it $30? Well, it's a repro. Why does it not say it's a repro? What are you trying to get away with here? Like, I've seen that shit twice at a local game store here, and it's like, fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Klonoa's rough. Klonoa hurts. Tail Concerto hurts. Clock Tower 2 hurts. Misadventures of Tronbon hurts. But with Klonoa and Tronbon, at least I think you can buy Tronbon. Misadventures of Tronbon PS3. Did it? Yeah, okay. So then I do own Tronbon on PS3. This is the way to do it. You throw this shit onto digital download. So with Tronbon and Klonoa, it's like, well, there's still a way to play these legally. I always like to, and hey, call me an arc. I do like to try to do things legally. I do like to try and support companies and properties that I like. But you know, with fucking Tail Concerto, what are you gonna do? You want to play the game, and you can't get it anywhere. It's more companies need to just put their shit available digitally. They need to stop re-releasing. No, actually, fuck that. Just re-release it all. They don't need to stop re-releasing shit. Just keep re-releasing. Just get everything. Just put your entire library up for sale on the fucking Switch. $1 a game, $5 a game, I don't care. $20 a game is a little too much. And you're gonna get a shit ton of money from me, from a lot of people, I think. I don't think I'm the only one who feels this way. Suikoden 2. JoJo. $4.50. This game, I remember a time when this game was $80, complete in box. I should have bought it. What's the most expensive PS1 game I own? Probably nothing. Probably nothing interesting. Do I own Bust a Groove 2? I don't think so. Wait, what's Brain Dead 13? Do I own this? No. I guess it'd be Silent Hill. What Team Buddies at? What is Team Buddies? Team Buddies? What the hell is Team Buddies? Oh. Complete $152. Look at that. What the hell happened here? Who got lucky and bought the game for $0? This has to be like the bot entered the data in wrong. I guess Resident or Silent Hill is maybe the most expensive game I own. What about, let's look at PlayStation 2. Rule of Rose, Haunting Ground, Xenosaga 3. God, Def Jam Fight for New York makes me sad. I wish there was a way to play Def Jam Fight for New York that didn't cost me over $100. Oh, well, here it is for $105. Okay. Do I own Budokai Tenkaichi 3? I own some Budokai Tenkaichis. Let's see. Dragon. I own Budokai Tenkaichi 1. I own Budokai 2 and Budokai Tenkaichi 1. Tulip's on PS3. You can get Tulip easy peasy. I don't own any of this shit. Silent Hill 2? Rock Band. Do I own Tekken 5? No, I own Tekken 3 and 4, though. God, Mr. Mosquito. Look at this. Mr. Mosquito Complete, $90. When I was a kid, every time I would go to EB Games, they would have like 90 copies of Mr. Mosquito. They were trying to give away copies of Mr. Mosquito. Nobody wanted this goddamn game. Now, $90. Okay, there it is. I own Ape Escape 3. So this is the one. Ape Escape 3 is $54. I do own Ape Escape 3. So I don't have an expensive collection. If you came and robbed me, you're not making much unless you had like a dump truck to take this shit away in, right? Like, but that's because I'm buying games that I don't know, I'm interested in, that I want to play. You know, I'm not... And I've come to this so late that a lot of the stuff was already pretty expensive. Mad 97 Andy, that's me, man. How much is the guy game? $67. Hold on. Look at this. This is not natural. Who was buying up? How much? Wait. The guy game. Chat, would you spend $99 on the guy game? Cat in the Hat? Would you spend $100 on child porn? Is essentially what I'm asking you. Okay. It's just sad, man. I hope the bubble bursts. I hope I can go back to just like enjoying looking for games I want to play and not have to be like, oh, well, where can I play this? Like, I hope we can get back to the point where I can enjoy games I've never played before without having to worry about like how much is it going to cost? Is there a better way to play this? Should I just emulate it and hope that the emulator and the ROM works? Like, look at Ribbit King. Poor old Ribbit King. Great game. Just collect PS4 games and shit. But I think that's going to be a bad idea. Because look, if we go to the Xbox 360. Okay. You're not making money on this shit. This is all like special editions, This shit already costs a gajillion dollars. If you're just out here buying normal games, okay, you're buying the Simpsons. Wait, Simpsons game, $31. The Simpsons game, $31. Shadows of the Damned, $34. Tiger Woods. Wait. Where did I just see it? SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, $32. Saw, $37. Spider-Man Edge of Time, $30. Deadly Premonition, $31. I take it back. Now is the time to get in this, because these prices are only going to keep going up. Family Guy, Back to the Multiverse, $22. And in a decade, that's going to be $2,200. After all Xbox 360s are revealed to have a flaw in them that causes them to fucking melt, that's going to cost you $2,200. I'm just saying, if you're buying PS4 games to collect them, to become an epic rich game collector, I don't know if we're gonna hit that point. I think we're all gonna be dead. I think we're all gonna be dead before you can make money. Fortnite. I just opened up my Facebook. That's not what I want to do. Well, then you get into like the limited run game stuff. Like the key is to just buy limited run games. That's how if you want to turn a profit, buy limited run games. I'm waiting on this to fucking drop. The SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I keep seeing it get listed on Twitter for like the super deluxe edition that has like the 3 statues. It keeps getting cheaper and cheaper, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting. One of these days, man. Why is this game expensive? Oh, it looks fancy. I don't know, man. Stubbs the Zombie re-release is getting physical copies now. Like through limited run games or just in general? Fortnite. I'm trying to see if I own any of these. Probably not, but I think it's GameStop exclusive. Have the original Xbox copy and the CD soundtrack? Oh, fuck, I'd buy that. I own the Fortnite disc. I mean, just the disc is $60. Jack 4. What? One sale per year. What? Where are the sales on Jack 4? Jack 4 collectible mod game case. PS4 limited run games. What? What? What's the point? Why would you buy this? What? I don't get that at all, man. What limited run games? I own Wonder Boy, Dragon's Lair, Dragons. Wait, is it Dragon's what do I own? No, I don't think that's what I own. Hold on. Okay, so it definitely is Dragon's Trap, but it's a different cover. Like, did it have a... No? I mean, it has a reversible cover, but that's not it. This game rules, by the way. Was it the collector's edition? No. Why is my cover different? Oh, well, this was put out by Nicholas. I'm looking for the limited run games version. Because that's what I have. This game rules. The other thing I want to look at is I have the Wonderful 101 remastered. Like collectors. I haven't played it, chat. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't played Wonderful 101. I spent all that money on getting like a physical copy of it for PS4. I should do that on stream. We'll do that sometime. Wonderful 101 remastered. Kickstarter edition. Yeah. Oh, it's like $30. Yeah. Well, I'm sure that'll go up in price. Is the PS4 version good? Wonderful 101 remastered PS4 review. Okay, that's not good. Why does it have the remaster feels like an artifact from bygone era that couldn't adapt to a new set of inputs without the Wii U's controller. How much is my copy of Brink worth? Brink. $3.60. $3.54, brother. Let's check that. Let's take a look at that. It peaked at $6 in May 2013. That was probably when the game came out. Right now, okay, so all-time low was $1.97. Hey, it looks like it's on an upswing again, so that's good. Look at wait. Look at all of the listings for it. Oh, this is just new. Hold on. Complete in box. Grandma wants cheap place. Yeah, man. Yeah. Brink's gonna have a big resurgence soon. I can feel it, dude. It's happening, man. What the? Am I dying? Look at this. Wait. In May 2011, someone bought it loose, just the disc, for $34. When did Brink come out? No, not the fucking Disney Channel original movie, Brink. Brink's not even the first thing that comes up when you look up Brink. It came out May 10th, 2011. So this is someone straight up like, I want to play Brink. Hot new game Brink just came out. Oh, a deal, just the disc for $33. Look what good it did them. Look what good it did them. Imagine buying Brink at full price. And at one point it was $1. Oh. What's a game I own that's worth the least amount of money? I mean, maybe that new Ratchet and Clank? Rift Apart? No, that's still store priced. Okay. What is the game that's worth the least amount of money? Hold on. PlayStation 2. It's gotta be a PS2 or a Wii game. Low to high. Okay, these don't have prices. They don't count. Kingdom Hearts. Okay. Prince of Persia Warrior Within. Cabela's Deer Hunt 2004. I actually think I own that. Hold on. No, I own 2005. Sorry. Sorry, 1 year off. It made all the difference. I might own Jam Pack Volume 13. I genuinely might. Final Fantasy X2. I definitely own Devil May Cry Greatest Hits. $7. But I actually think I definitely own just the disc. I bought just the disc from GameStop in like 2012. It cost me like $7. No, it cost me $9.99. It's not worth $2. The Naked Brothers Band. Okay, let's look at Wii though. Nintendo. Your Shape. Eminem's Beach Party is only $2. It's a good deal. Defending the Penguin, $2 or $4. I own Defending the Penguin. I think this is the answer. Defending the Penguin. I should have sold it in September 2017. This is actually probably when I bought it. No, I bought it when I was still in high school. How could I not buy this game, though? Look at this lovable little fella. Look at this guy. I had to buy this game. I once, whenever I was really into buying shitty Wii games, because I thought it was funny, I still do. I went over to a girl I was dating's house. I went over to her house. And I was like, I'm going to bring all these Wii games. And we can hang out and play shitty Wii games. And she was like, oh, okay. Okay. I think we played Defending D Penguin and Rock and Roll Adventure. And then she was like, can you leave? And would you believe that was not the end of that relationship? Wow. That's how selfless I am. I was willing to give her another shot. Rock and Roll Adventure, $4. You know, the prices on these did not go up in the way that I thought they would have. I thought the meme status of them would make them more expensive, but nope. Jerry Rice and Nitrous Dog Football? Dude's Big Adventure. Right, classic. We got any Dude's Big Adventure fans in chat tonight? Seen It Twilight. Well, this is an evergreen game. This one's gonna catch on big. What do you think is going to get more expensive first? Brink or Twilight Seen It? Because right now, Twilight Seen It is winning. It costs more money to buy Twilight Seen It than Brink. Charm Girls Club. Pajama Party. What was the Wii? What? How'd they get? How did it end up like that, man? Where did they go wrong? They just got too popular. Too popular and too cheap to develop for. But I feel like whenever you're getting Merv Griffith crosswords on your console, you have to hit a point where you know you fucked up. When you're getting Dewey's Adventure, we got, oh wait, this is a Konami game? Is it good? Wait, we might have just found a hidden gem. Hold on, we might be onto something here. We might be able to... Listen, chat, we're going to get on this in the ground floor, okay? Dewey's Adventure. If this game's good, we all buy copies of it, and we rack the price up. Let's see, is Dewey's Adventure good? Oh, this is just the boss fights. Hold on. This looks like shit. Oh, this looks bad. I assume you tilt the Wiimote and that controls where Dewey goes. Like it rotates the world like it's a monkey ball game. This looks bad. Oh, that jump. Oh, no. Okay, but feasibly, we could still pull this off, chat. We could still pull off the insider trading. We need to, one, take down the internet. We need to DMCA claim this video. Execute Come On the Skunk. And then no one will know that this game's bad. And then we'll sell it high price. Buy all the copies, sell them all, $60. Weird Konami games. Wait, Dewey's Adventure in 1080p? Wow. Well, now it's good. Well, we gotta. All right. Now we've got a real game. This is the real one. We get we buy all copies of Calvin Tucker's Redneck Jamboree. Complete, $4. It's down a cent. There was one sale this week. Oh, per week. Uh-oh. And we sell it back at $12. Listen, we buy low, we sell slightly higher, but still pretty low. That's called smart profiteering. That's called big money moves. A Rolling Stones Drum King. We got Rolling Stones Drum King fans. It's not even Rolling Stones the band. It's the fucking magazine. Balloon Pop. Wow. The Wii was filled with great games, man. Attack of the Movies 3D. Wow. Just high quality titles. Alone in the Dark. Oh no. Yeah, that one can stay at $5. Monster Lab. I bet that isn't nearly as fun as it looks. Shrek Carnival. Wait. They made a carnival game? Oh no. Chat, if we hit 35 subs and I do the clown stream, we'll play Shrek Carnival Craze. We'll play carnival games and Shrek's Carnival Craze. That's my promise to you. Okay, Sega Superstars Tennis is actually okay, though. These sound like made-up games. Busy Scissors. This isn't a real game. This is a money laundering scheme. This isn't a real game. Busy Scissors. Oh. Suddenly I have no interest at all. Wow. What's the worst game you own? I mean, there's some bad ones. Superman 64, right? Classic. But there's also shit like Shrek's Treasure Hunt on PS1 that like gives me a migraine. I mean, there's games that barely qualify as games. like Miss Spider's Tea Party on the PlayStation 1 or Bob the Builder on PS1, where they're just hit X, you did it. Shrek's Treasure Hunt's definitely the one that whenever people go, what's the worst game you own? I go to that game. That game physically hurts. I mean, I fucking hate Batman Arkham Origins. I don't know if I qualify that, though. That game at least has graphics. Definitely shit like Rock and Roll Adventure. You know, the Wii shovelware shit is definitely on that pile. I would probably say that stuff is the worst. But whenever I'm like, what's a game that I never want to touch again? Shrek Treasure Hunt. Let me show you Shrek Treasure Hunt. Now, I could just go pop in my copy, but I don't want to do that. Shrek Treasure Hunt review. Okay. Sir, we don't need your life story. I'm just here to steal your content. So the thing that's especially funny about this game to me is that the first Shrek game was on the Xbox. Like, the PS1 was already old tech by the time the first Shrek game came out. But the PS1 also still had consistent games made for it into, like, the mid-2000s. So they absolutely were going to capitalize on the group of people that still owned PS1s. Or owned PS2s that could play PS1 games. But, like, this is a 2002 PS1 game. And it shows.
Shrek is planning a special picnic for Princess Fiona, but all the picnic items have gone missing. The items must be in the swamp somewhere. Use the swamp map to help Shrek locate and collect them all before Princess Fiona arrives.
That's it. That's the plot. That's the story. That's it. The devs spent 30 seconds on that. They accidentally put what's the premise of the game into the box that said entire game story. And the load times are fucking laughable. All right, look at this though. This is how the game looks. Listen to the Shrek music. Doesn't this music remind you of Shrek? All those great Shrek memories. This is what you do the entire game. You run around, you collect 10 of an item, and then you get a really shit minigame. It just teleports you there. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't. This game's fucking abysmal. This game's fucking caca. It's fucking diarrhea dog shit. Angry video game bloke. Chuffed video game bloke. video game bloke. Oi, I'm gonna take you back to the past. We're gonna play the shitty games that suck ass. This game is fucking bollocks. Ace. Instead of having like a rivalry with Bugs Bunny, he has a rivalry with fucking Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. I don't want to play your shitty games, Wallace. All these shitty Wallace and Gromit games. No thanks. Anyways, this game's fucking abysmal. That's all I want to show you. This game's really bad. This game's really, really bad. It also takes literally an hour to 100%. Bad. Anyways. Ocean Commander. I bet this game's cool. Ocean Commander. Watch this. I bet this game rules. I bet this game rips. This actually doesn't seem that bad. It seems really low budget, but it doesn't seem that bad. I miss the PS1 aesthetic. I do too, man. That's my favorite aesthetic. That's my favorite aesthetic in games, is the PS1 era, like pixelated textures, some texture warping going on, low poly models. But whenever you look at stuff like fucking Mega Man Legends, Mega Man Legends knew how to use that art style. Like they went fucking nuts. They knew how to use this shit. And so the game looks great. Mega Man Legends looks great. Tail Concerto looks great. Metal Gear Solid looks great. I love this aesthetic. This like really clean, bright. There's no like lighting going on. Like there's not that like murky PS1 lighting. It just looks so clean. This is my favorite aesthetic in all of gaming. Why does it say PC gameplay? Mega Man Legends, PS1. Sorry, I meant this is my favorite aesthetic. I love this shit. Games never look better than this. And yeah, Tail Concerto has the same kind of aesthetic. To the point that I thought it was a Capcom game. Like, I thought it was made by the same people.
Alicia and her gang here?
Okay, well, don't...
Yes, I'm sure they...
Okay, don't... Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just gameplay, sir. I love how this game looks. I'll never understand why we can't play PS1 classic digital games from PS3 on later consoles. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get a lot of the shit going on with digital game sale, like sorry, excuse me. I don't understand a lot of the shit going on with virtual console type stuff. I don't understand what Nintendo's doing at all. I really don't. Nintendo could so easily just make a gajillion dollars, and they would profit, because like stuff like Metroid Dread's coming out, and I'm probably not going to play it, because I've played Super Metroid but never beat it. That's it. That's the only Metroid I've had access to, and that was because of virtual console stuff. That was because of digital emulation sold by them. Nintendo could get so many new Metroid fans if they just went, here it is. Zero Mission, Super Metroid, Fusion. Here's all the Metroids. There you go. You can play them. $5 a game, whatever, I don't care. $1 a game, whatever, I don't care. Just put them on there. And they won't do it. I don't understand. And it's this way with... I feel like the only company that does it well is Xbox. I feel like if you're an Xbox person, there are a lot of options for you to play Xbox games. If you want to play Blinks, ways to play Blinks Time Sweeper. You can play it on Xbox One. You can play it on Xbox Series X. You can take your copy of Blinks that you bought in the early 2000s and play it on the Xbox Series X. Microsoft is the only one who's doing this shit correctly. And I don't understand what Sony and Nintendo... Now, I'll say, in Nintendo's defense for backwards compatibility, Nintendo changes their format every decade. They shit their pants and they change the format every decade. Okay. But still, they have a digital marketplace. Just put all that shit up on digitally. Sony, I don't know what they're doing. The PS2... One of the defining factors of the PS2 that built its longevity was its backwards compatibility. And the PS3 as well. The PS3, to a lesser extent, once they jumped the PS2 backwards compatibility. But you could play PS1 games on the PS3. Where is that? There was that rumor before the PlayStation 5 was really we knew details that it would be called the PlayStation. And it would play everything. And I knew that was bullshit. But I still was like, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be nice to just go, you know what, today I feel like playing Spyro the Dragon. And I could pop it into my hot new console and be in a PlayStation party with my friends. Still be able to switch over to watch Netflix or something. Wouldn't it be nice to just have one central hub? And Microsoft gets that. I don't understand why no one else does. I don't understand why the other companies shit the bed on that. Everyone blamed Jim Ryan because of past comments. I don't know what you mean by that. I guess I don't know who Jim Ryan is right now. Hold on. Googling Jim Ryan. Oh, okay. CEO. I remember when they accidentally let you download a lot more PS1 games to the Vita in the US and then reversed it. So, like, that's another thing. There will be times where I'm like, what's the best way to play this game? And it's like, well, in Japan, on the PSN in Japan, you can buy it. And it's like, should I just make a Japanese PlayStation account if it's in English? Makes me sad, man. I just want to be able to fucking crack open the PS5, slap Spyro 2 in there. But you know, if they do that, well then you won't buy any new games, and you won't buy a remake of Spyro. Well, fuck you, I'm not buying the remake of Spyro anyway. So just let me play the games I already own. It's stupid. But backwards compatibility has literally been an issue forever. Like, it's been an issue in all of gaming. Like, so you had the, what is it, like the Atari, like 5200 or whatever, that I think could play 2600 games. And everyone's like, oh, okay, that's how consoles work. And then when the Super Nintendo came out, and it didn't play regular Nintendo games, there's actually like a news report. Hold on. Super Nintendo controversy 1991. Here.
Our video game industry is hotter than ever this season, and one good reason, Nintendo has introduced some hot new toys. But have things gone a bit too far? This evening, Ken Shockney wraps up a special report on Video Mania.
Does this really have to cost this much? Where should the anger be directed? Not at the parents, but at the manufacturer.
So it has come to this. Therapy sessions for families whom you could call Nintendependent.
First of all, the peer pressure starts. I feel maybe exploited.
Psychologists' offices might get more crowded this holiday season. Just in time for Christmas, the Japanese toy maker Nintendo has come out with a new set of electronic video games. At $200, a Super Nintendo setup costs twice as
What
much
an
as the
old way of
setup.
talking about games.
You can't mix and match. For the money, the company promises better pictures, sound, and adventures. Some of the new games look like updated takes on fairly well-known formats. In the racing game of F-Zero, you're in a futuristic race car. Oh, I guess I should watch where I'm driving instead of talking. The 3D effect, as you can see, is
driving the wrong way.
Standards. It was a nice clear stretch, even if I am in reverse. Let's see if we can't turn the car around right about now. If you're a real good player, meaning you've got the skill of a 9 or 10-year-old, you can even try to jump your car.
He died. He's dead.
If you miss, the game lets you know your status. Some parents are refusing to be taken in.
I'm going to say no, and I'm going to explain to him how people market things to make you spend more money.
Nintendo controls 80% of the video market, though some game players prefer the pictures of its competitor Sega. But no matter how you play the game, or which game you play, things definitely have come a long way since Pac-Man.
Shut up.
Shockneck, Channel 4 News.
But yeah, so like backwards compatibility has always been like a thing people have talked about. But it's gone from parents going, I don't want to spend money, which to be fair, that shit was a lot of money back in the day. It's gone from that to big stupid Game Boys like me going, I would really like, hello, Mr. Sony, I would really like it if I could play my favorite PlayStation 1 game, Crash Team Racing. If I could play that on the PS5 and not the remake but the original version, if you could let that happen, that'd be just dandy. It's all changed, man. It's all changed. I like to play Team Buddies. I just spent $150 on this, and I can't even play it. You either have to put this on the PlayStation 5, or I'm gonna have to get this graded and sell it for $10,000. You decide. Anyways. Chat. I think that's gonna do it for me tonight. I think now's a good time to wrap it up. We learned a lot tonight. We had some laughs. We learned some things. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna look up Team Buddies right now, because I'm pretty sure I've seen Team Buddies. Hold on, stream's not over yet. Yeah, I've seen this game. I don't think I've ever played it. And now I never will. What is this music? This music rules, though. Wild. Dude, I'll do it. Kirby, in honor of you, I'll do a Team Buddies stream. It's just, I gotta, find someone to sell me the game for cheap. For real cheap. I'll do a Team Buddies stream. This shit looks fun. Okay. Now, though. Now I'm ending the stream. I gotta work tomorrow morning. That's why I was off today. I did nothing with my day off. I cleaned. Yeah, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy it. So we didn't play Psychonauts 2 tonight, which is fine. Monday, we're gonna do Psychonauts 2. Fuck, I know what I was going to do. Shit, I didn't do it. Well, I'll do it right after this. Kirby, I'm going to message you. I got to message some people. I'm cooking up plans for something, and I fucking forgot to do it today. Whoops. So that's going to do it for me tonight. I hope we learned something. I hope we learned that corporations will ruin everything. People trying to get rich will ruin every hobby. It will ruin everything you love. And the only thing we can do at this point is to just stop liking things. I don't see another solution. We have to surrender to them. That's my solution. I voted for Joe Biden. Anyways, that's going to do it for me tonight. Monday, we'll kick it. We'll kick it with some Psychonauts 2. We'll do more Psychonauts 2. A game that I am absolutely loving. I am absolutely in love with it. Don't tell my wife. Ooh, cheeky. I'm really fucking in love with Psychonauts 2. So, I'll see you Monday. Kirby, I gotta message you. I gotta message some people. So, I will talk to you in a second. But everyone else, fuck off. Good night. Go die. Don't die. Don't die. Hold on. That's such a mean ending. I don't mean that at all, man. I don't mean that even an inch. Thank you for fucking being here tonight. Where are my manners, dude? Why am I I'm just mad tonight. I'm just heat up. They lit me up. They lit me up like a rocket, and now they're sending me to bed, man. I don't mean it. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being here. I couldn't do this stream without you, and that's 100% true. Can you imagine how boring of a stream this would be if it was just me just sitting there watching a video, not talking to anyone? Thank you for being here. Don't die.
Well, I suppose that's all for tonight. Peace and love. This has been a Fudge Films production.